Your guide would cut your throat for $10. And even if he didn't, you'd be shot by bandits or scalped by Indians. My gun is your safe passage. You're going to need it.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
You know, hey boy, I'm bored this afternoon. Too much of the same thing.
Oh, you saw Mr. Paladin.
If only something different would happen.
I say, Porter. Oh, something different, Mr. Paladin. Which is the way to Fleetown, Montana?
Fleetown?
Yes.
Perhaps I might help. My name is Paladin.
Why, thank you, sir. I'm James Brunswick.
Hey, boy, bring Mr. Brunswick some brandy.
No, you're very kind, but I can't tell you. You see, my father, the 8th Earl of Aylesbury, invested money in this ranch in Montana, and now that my brother's dead, his share was left to me.
And you're going there to take possession?
Precisely, yes. My interest is half. The rest is owned by a 5th cousin, a Miss Felicia Carson. Yet I must make arrangements to get there quickly. A lone woman attempting to run a large ranch. Well, you understand.
Yes, of course. I imagine she'll be pleased to have a man's help.
Oh, quite. Yes. Well, I'll hop a train, and I'll just pop in on her in a day or two.
3 weeks will be closer to the truth.
Oh?
The train will drop you about 200 miles from Fleetown. From there on, it's horseback over the mountains.
Oh. Well, then in that case, I might do a bit of hunting. I shall hire a guide.
And he'll cut your throat for your money.
Good gracious.
No, you couldn't do it alone. You get lost, shot by bandits, or scalped.
Well, it's rather awkward. What's the solution?
This.
Have gun will travel. Oh, I say. I mean, the gun, is it necessary?
Not always. Sometimes it's mighty useful.
If dandruff dulls your hair, leaves your scalp itchy, please listen. You can get rid of annoying dandruff so fast today, no one should suffer any longer. With Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo, unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. Besides that, using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And while removing dandruff, Fitch can also brighten hair up to 35%. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
James Brunswick, 9th Earl of Aylesbury, endured the 3-week ride over the mountains with the help of an English saddle, a sun helmet, and 2 pack horses carrying his trunks and carpet bags. He marveled at the size, the coldness, the expanse, and the beauty of the land. There were some Indians lounging around the general store when we rode into Fleetown. They stared at him fascinated. He stared back, fascinated. We dismounted and walked up the steps.
This is Fleetown, mister. You looking for someone special?
Yes. Miss Felicia Carson. Perhaps you can direct us to the King's Arms Ranch, sir?
I'll be danged. Miss Carson?
What is it, Waddy?
Ma'am, I think your cousin from England just got here.
What? You James Brunswick?
Yes, that's right.
Oh. Well, I reckon you're my kinfolk.
Oh, my goodness, Cousin Felicia. Why, this is delightful.
Well, I reckon. I'm pleased to meet you.
I'm delighted. This is my friend, Mr. Paladin.
A pleasure, Miss Carson.
The same. This here's Waddy, my foreman.
Howdy.
You go see if them horses is shod yet, Waddy.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is Crazy Clothes?
I beg your pardon.
Crazy Clothes.
Harry, you go on about your business. Quit standing around staring. And take your braves with you. Go on now. Go on.
Crazy clothes.
I say, Cousin Felicia, those are savages.
No, them's Harry Blackfoot, Little Horse, and a few of the boys from across the road is all.
James was disappointed that we didn't see any Indians on the trail.
Good thing, too. The only braves you'd run into up there'd be a war party taking scalps. Harry and them a lot more peaceable. They ain't smeared war paint in years.
War paint? Taking scalps? By Jove, it's all true then, just as I've read.
Makes good reading, but it's nothing you'd care to see.
No, I expect not.
Well. So this is your cousin all the way from England, huh?
Now look, NG, let's not have any...
Wait a minute. You the one who shot that poor little bear cub on that pack horse?
I shot him, sir, but he's scarcely a cub.
Listen to him, boy. Why, mister, you just ain't acquainted with Montana breed of bear. Full grown, they're as big as this house.
Really? Well, I never heard of any animal that large.
I've only been in on the kill of one full-size Montana bear myself. I was with the Army. Took a 10-pound shot to bring him down.
How extraordinary.
And you know what we found when we peeled the hide off him?
No, what?
Why, bear skin, you blame fool.
Well, I must say the joke is on me, what?
It sure is. What a dude. Come on, let's get up.
You tripped me.
How's the water in the horse trough?
I guess it's the horse on you, Andy.
You think that's funny, do you?
You must admit a man swimming in a horse trough looks pretty foolish.
Not as foolish as you will with your jaw busted.
Seems like NG finally bit on one himself and he don't like the sour taste.
You're kind of handy with your practical jokes, mister.
Next time it might be better to let a man become acquainted with the local customs before you try to make a fool of him.
In the 1800s, the Monroe Doctrine dictated that Americans put a wall between themselves and the world. Today, however, times have changed. From city dweller to farmer, Americans know they are part of the world and close to it. And the more they can find out about it, the better. That's why the broadcasts of Edward R. Murrow and Lowell Thomas are so popular. Each of these internationally known newsmen has a wide background in the history, the politics, the economics on which current events are built. Whether you're interested in high-level affairs of state abroad, economic developments here at home, or the latest advances of science, you'll find them presented clearly and understandably by Murrow and Thomas, with the touch of wit or human interest that has won them listeners everywhere in the world. If you're not already addicted to the news, as CBS Radio presents it nightly, start this week to follow the broadcasts of Edward R. Murrow and Lowell Thomas. They're both heard Monday through Friday on most of these same CBS stations.
James Brunswick, 9th Earl of Aylesbury, changed to knickers once we got to the ranch. After tea and a pipe, he picked up his riding crop and announced it was time to look things over. Felicia Carson reckoned it was time. I tagged along. We made a circuit of the main ranch buildings and ended up sometime around dusk back at the corrals.
Well, that's the works, Jamie. These buildings, 6,000 head of cattle and 12,000 acres of land.
It's immense, absolutely immense. And you've been looking after all this alone. You know, you're an amazing woman, Felicia.
Had to be done.
Well, now that I'm here, I intend to take this burden off your shoulders. You just sit back and be the lady of the manor, huh?
Well, thanks, Jamie, but for a while you just sort of take it easy and don't strain yourself none. I'm going up to the house. Supper's in a half an hour.
What? Well, I'm afraid that she doesn't take me very seriously, Paladin.
That'll change. Right now, you're sort of unusual to her.
To everyone. You know, I've been thinking about NG and his little joke this morning. I was being tested, wasn't I?
Yeah. And they think that a man who can be tricked is a fool. See, around here they figure there are two kinds of no good people, cowards and fools. In a rough situation, the coward will run out on you, and the fool might make a fatal mistake.
And I showed myself up to be a fool.
No. But you showed you've got a lot to learn. Let's say you've lost face. You don't quite fit in yet.
How does one go about fitting in, Paladin?
Well, here. This is your saddle. English. Made for riding. Nothing else, right?
Well, what else is there?
Well, look at the saddle of mine. The Western saddle.
But yeah, it's a cumbersome, heavy sort of thing.
Maybe, but there's a reason for everything. See the horn here? The tie post when roping cattle, and elbow rest for a man in the saddle all day.
I see.
And the height and the slope of the cantle here. See that? I figure to give a man the most comfort and the best brace through a day's work. Well, the rigging, the cinch, the stirrup leathers are all designed to contribute something useful. There isn't a piece of leather on this saddle that isn't needed.
Well, I must confess, I thought it was an unwieldy piece of business.
No, nothing on the frontier is without a definite purpose. No individual is without a definite purpose either. Survival's too difficult. Everything and everyone must contribute something, and you'll just have to find the thing that you have to contribute.
I say, Paladin, look. Yeah, but they're attacking us.
They shouldn't be hostile here. They're showing themselves too openly. Oh, no. You see they're firing in the air. Hey, you put down that rifle.
Well, why did you knock the rifle?
Shut up, you hit him. Come on.
Well, it looks like... Well, that's the one, Harry Blackfoot.
All right, now, hold still, Harry. Let me see.
Why, crazy
Now, you
clothes.
just take it easy now.
Of all the fool tricks, screaming like a bunch of medicine show squaws. It serves you right, Harry.
Hey, can I help?
And G say it was a joke. Everybody have fun. And G say...
High in the chest. It's a bad one.
You do this, Englishman?
I'm sorry. I didn't know it was a joke.
Take him to the house.
No, we take care of our chief.
I can't tell you how sorry I am.
Why couldn't you wait and find out what it was about before you... Oh, never mind. We'll go into town in the morning. Maybe they'll listen to reason. We ain't had no Indian trouble here in years until you come along, you dang fool.
She put that kind of strong.
What was that you said about a fool? A fool that makes fatal mistakes?
Toward greater victories, the March of Dimes is again asking your help to wipe out the deadly cripplers of thousands of children and adults. Not only polio, but arthritis and birth defects. Did you know that 1 out of every 7 persons in the United States will suffer from arthritis, an exceedingly painful disease for which no cure has yet been found, and that it menaces our youngsters as well as older people? And did you know that 1 out of every 16 babies born this year will have a birth defect? You have helped the March of Dimes fight polio and emerge the winner in the battle. And now your 1959 contribution to the March of Dimes can help win the battle with these other awful cripplers. We did it before, and with your help, we can do it again. Send your gift of money to your local March of Dimes headquarters. Send it tonight.
There was tension in Fleetown after Harry Blackfoot was shot. No one knew what the Indians might do about it. They had him holed up in an old barn, feeding him whiskey and working on his wounds. At least that was the news we got.
When are you figuring to leave, Paladin?
Tomorrow.
Take him back with you, for his own good. How long do you think he'd last out here before somebody blows his head off?
You could learn, if you'd help him.
I'm running a ranch, not a school. No, it isn't as if I don't like Jamie.
Well, then, don't send him away. This ranch would give him a purpose in life. You need him.
To shoot Indians?
Would it be better if he'd run away and hid?
Well, he should have used his head before he used that rifle.
He reacted the way any man would. He was attacked, picked up the rifle, and defended himself.
Good morning. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting.
Morning.
Now, when we get to town, Jamie, you let me do the talking. The Indians have probably cooled down by now.
If Harry Blackfoot is all right.
NG started this, and it's up to him to stop it. Now, James, I just want you to show up and stand there, like you got nothing to be ashamed of.
Yes, of course.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Paladin, I'd appreciate it if you would stay here until we clear up this matter, and then I'd like to return to San Francisco with you.
If that's what you want.
Well, I believe it would be best for everyone. Oh, there he is, propped up against the log under the tree.
Harry Blackfoot seems to be recovering very well.
He's drunk. They're all drunk. Look at that barrel of whiskey. Bet they got it from NG.
You better get NG before we try talking to Harry. You can't stay out here alone, James. Come with us.
Well, I'd like to apologize to that fellow.
Oh, not right now.
Oh, there you are, you blasted troublemaker. You got the engines all stewed up, the blame fool.
Don't you try to squirm out of this, putting all the blame on James.
Well, I didn't have anything.
NG, you're going out with us now and tell Harry Blackfoot exactly why all this is your fault.
My fault?
I don't have to explain that to you, NG.
Them engines is in no mood to listen to reason now. They'd kill me.
If you don't go out there, I'll kill you.
Send out Crazy Clothes.
Where's my rifle?
You kill any one of them and word will spread to every Indian in the section. And every one of them will be wearing paint in 24 hours.
You get out there and tell them to stop it.
I can't stop them. They want the Englishman.
He's right.
Where do you think you're going?
Out there, there's little choice, is there?
You can't go out there, Jamie.
Well, I can't endanger your life or be the cause of an uprising.
Stop him.
If he can get across the street, maybe he can get to Harry.
Paladin, why didn't you stop him?
Sometimes a man has things to prove to himself.
It's a rundown. They're going to swipe him down and trample him.
Oh, no. He's getting up. Here comes another one.
No man can take that kind of punishment.
Oh, no. He's getting up again.
He's trying to get to Harry Blackfoot. I'm going out there. Wait here.
They'll kill you too, Paladin, if you interfere.
Harry. Call him off, Harry.
No. Braves teach lesson.
We could have shot your braves by now, but that would have made a war. He's had his lesson. He's been hurt enough.
Crazy Clothes on his feet.
Listen to me, Harry. Only a few may wear clothes like that. It is a proud uniform from a far-off land. Only brave and honorable men wear that uniform. The clothes are the sign of a great and wise leader, a man of strength, a man like yourself. You see how he behaves?
Enough! I feel I owe you an apology, old man. I'm really dreadfully sorry, you know. Inexcusable.
You're right. He brave man.
Feeling better, Jamie?
Oh, much, thank you, yes. Fortunate the store carried my size in stock. How do you like me? Do I look like a rancher? Paladin?
I guess you do at that. Well, come on in, Harry.
Where'd he get your clothes?
He requested them.
Only brave and honorable men wear this uniform. Great and wise leaders?
That's right, Harry.
Me and that one, Englishman. No one else?
No one else.
Good.
Well, he seems quite happy. Now, Paladin, shall we return to the ranch and pack?
Oh, you're not going to run out and leave me now, Jamie. You can't do that to me. I'm just a mere little old woman. That ranch needs a man.
No, thank you for the offer, Felicia, but really, I'm afraid there's so little that I have to contribute out here.
Except courage.
Oh, come now, Paladin. I mean, one doesn't talk about that sort of thing.
Mr. Paladin, you're traveling back to San Francisco alone.
Well, if you insist, I stay.
One favor before I leave, James.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'd like the address of your tailor in London. If I sent him my measurements, perhaps he could make me a brave and honorable chief.
Oh, you back, Mr. Paladin. But where is man from the bowler hat?
He's ranching in Montana.
Oh, him? Montana?
Oh, he changed clothes.
Well,
Excuse me, please. Can either of you tell me the way to Henrysville, Oregon?
Oh, sure. Best is to go to a street at the end of town there.
Oregon and Henrysville are a long ways off.
Oh.
And difficult to get to.
Oh, but you see, I really must get to Henrysville. A cousin of mine, a rancher, died. And it's my duty to take over the management of the ranch.
Oh, boy.
And you've just arrived from England and you're in a hurry.
Well, yes, that's quite correct, as a matter of fact.
My name is Paladin. May I offer you my service?
Would you have garden, will travel? What kind of service?
Sit down, please. Hey, boy. A glass of sherry for Miss...
Worthshire. Lady Angela Worthshire.
For Lady Angela. And hurry.
Oh, Esau, get sherry right away. Oh, Lady Angela. Oh, boy. Tally ho, Mr. Paladin.
Now, Lady Angela, I think I should tell you...
Must you hold my hand?
It's an American custom. You must accustom yourself to American customs.
Oh. Well, now the service you spoke of.
It begins tonight, at 8 o'clock. A dinner at Fabre's, then a glass of sparkling wine at the Porter, and then a tour of San Francisco. You must see the points of interest before you leave.
I feel I'm already indulging myself in something interesting.
Lady Angela, I know I can assist you.
You know something, Mr. Paladin? I'm quite certain you can.
Have gun. Will travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Sam Rolfe and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Virginia Christine, Ralph Moody, Gene Bates, Barney Phillips, James Nusser, and Harry Bartell. Hugh Douglas speaking. Have Gun Will Travel salutes station KRMG, Tulsa, Oklahoma, which became CBS Radio's newest affiliate on Monday, January 5th. KRMG covers 93 counties and reaches about 1 million families in the Southwest and operates on 50,000 watts daytime and 25,000 nighttime. Join us again next week for Have Gun Will Travel.
My gun was handcrafted to my specifications. I rarely draw it, unless I mean to use it.
Have Gun Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel. Headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Paladin.
Good evening, George. My key, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Paladin.
Good evening, Mr. Paladin.
Well, good evening, my dear. How nice to see you.
Is it?
Of course.
Haven't you been avoiding me lately?
No, not at all. I've been out of town.
Mr. Paladin! Mr. Paladin!
Over here, hey, boy. You'll pardon me, my dear, but wait for me in the lounge.
Well, if you don't take too long.
I won't. Hello, hey, boy.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Paladin. I look for you. I get you papers from all places in West, like always.
Fine. Put them in my room. I'll be up later. Right now, there's a young
I
lady.
think something you want to see in this journal from New Mexico. I mark. Here. You read.
Huh.
Yeah, it looked like they need Mr. Paladin and his gun, eh?
Yes, maybe so, hey boy. Get me pen and paper.
Oh, yes, sir. Right away. Good, good, good. You send card, say, have gun, will travel.
Dandruff bothers most men, most women too, so listen. Today you can get rid of embarrassing dandruff in just 3 minutes. Yes, with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. Unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. That's not all. Using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes, with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And never forget, gentle Fitch can also leave your hair up to 35% brighter. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
I'll get it, Mr. Reed.
Oh, never mind. I can still walk to my own door. Well?
My name is Paladin. I got your wire.
Wire? What wire?
Well, your name is Jesse Reed.
And what about her?
You and 20 of your men tried to take the town of Perdido below the border in Mexico. And only 5 of you came back, not in very good shape. I see that you're still hobbling on 1 leg.
Yeah, well, come on in.
Thank you.
Now, how do you know so much?
I saw it in the San Francisco papers, and I sent you a card, like this one.
Huh? Have gun will travel. Wire Paladin, San Francisco. But I sent no wire.
Well, I have it right here.
Gotch?
Yes, sir, Mr. Reed.
You send this man a wire?
I figured maybe Mr. Paladin could help us, Mr. Reed. At least till he was able to sit a horse again.
Oh. You're a fast gun, huh?
Fast enough.
What do you figure you can do for me?
Dave Enderby's wanted for murder, and he's holed up in an outlaw town in Mexico. And more important, he took your daughter with him, and when he went after her, he ambushed your men and shot you. I guess you'd like to see him again.
But if I couldn't bring him back with 20 men, how do you think you'd do it all alone?
There are all kinds of tactics, Mr. Reed.
Tactics? You one of them ex-army officers?
Among other things.
I know your breed. Got to have action and money.
Which brings us to my fee.
I didn't ask you here. I ain't paying nothing.
For Dave Enderby delivered to you, breathing?
How much?
$1,000.
That gun comes high.
It's a good gun. Crafted to my own specifications.
Ah, let me see it. Now, what do you think of that? I ask a man for his gun and he gives it to me. Why, you overdressed tin soldier, you'd have about as much of a chance with Dave Enderby as a ribbon clerk.
I'll have my gun back, Mr. Reed, or I'll put a hole between your eyes. This Derringer may not look as impressive, but it's just as effective at short range. Thank you. Now, what about Dave Enderby?
A Derringer in your waistcoat. You're a cool one. All right, then. You bring me Enderby alive, and you'll get your 1,000. But nothing on account, only my word.
I don't ask anything more.
Enderby shot his first man when he was 15, in the back. That's where he tried to shoot me, and that's where he'll shoot you if he gets the chance. It's the only way he knows to fight.
I'll remember. What do I do about your daughter?
She went with him of her own free will. Let her stay.
Mr. Reed.
I said let her stay. All I want is Enderby.
I'll get him.
You're a fool, Paladin. You might get in, but you won't get out. The whole Mexican government can't get an outlaw out of Perdido. I couldn't, and you won't.
We'll see. Good day, Mr. Reed.
Welcome to Perdido, senor.
Senor, Quite a welcoming committee. Do they always ring bells?
To tell us a stranger is in the pass, it is guarded.
I saw them. They didn't look very friendly.
Not every stranger is a friend, senor.
My name is Paladin.
And mine is O'Brien. I am the alcalde here.
A red-headed Mexican with an Irish name?
In Perdido, what matters is not a man's nationality, but his disposition. If he is, shall we say, simpatico, then he is welcome.
For as long as he can pay.
It is a poor business, senor, that does not make a profit. You have friends here, Senor Paladin?
I'm looking for Senor Enderby. Can you tell me where to find him?
He is usually in the cantina.
Thank you.
Oh, Senor Paladin.
Yes?
I must tell you about our bell. If it rings when one leaves Perdido, that one is always met in the pass. Stay with us, senor, and be comfortable. And when you leave, I hope the bell does not ring for you.
Good day, Senor O'Brien. Hey, what you...
Senor, don't shoot. The knife was not meant for you.
Oh.
That's a fast draw, mister, but you can holster your gun. We only thrown at that circle on the wall beside you. Like this. Well, amigo, I win again.
Your pleasure, senor.
Huh? Oh, tequila.
Si, senor.
You've been thrown at a man, amigo. You'd be dead now.
I do not miss when it is a man.
Double the bet, then?
We'll see, but this time I use your knife.
Hand it over, amigo.
I permit you to use mine.
Hey, senores. There is one law in Perdido. We do not fight each other.
Well, now, I thank you for reminding me. I ain't going to be the one to spoil the fun. Go ahead, amigo. Throw.
Dead center. It was a good...
Look out!
Senor. You tried to cut me in the back.
Just letting you know, I don't mind giving something away, but nobody takes nothing from me. Nothing. Here's your knife, amigo.
Pig.
You'll know better next time.
Enderby.
How'd you know my name?
I had a good description of you, of how you fight. I've come looking for you.
For me?
Mm-hmm. Seems I have to take you back across the border.
That's so? Julio.
That is still against your neck, senor. So don't try anything or you will not leave, eh?
Now, I'll take that gun of yours, mister. You won't be needing it anyway.
No, because I can't shoot you. I don't get paid unless I bring you back breathing.
Who to?
Jesse Reed.
That old vinegaroon's still alive and kicking?
Very much so. He wants you alive.
What's your name, mister?
Paladin.
You want me to take care of him, Senor Enderby?
Nah, let him go, Julio. He ain't got a chance.
Bueno, senor.
Thank you. You know, I'd like to meet the young lady who caused all this.
Nancy? Sure, why not? Nancy get a real boot out of you. Come on, Mr. Paladin.
Like a season ticket to the ballpark, CBS News admits you to every major event going on. Please note, too, that where CBS News is concerned, the world is the stadium, and the season of excitement knows no end. Regular features like our World News Roundup, broadcast 7 mornings a week on CBS Radio, and its evening counterpart, The World Tonight, heard nightly over most of these same stations, make you spectator to the most spectacular events of our time. They take you right to where the news is happening, let you learn the details from experts who've watched the news develop. Every morning on CBS Radio, join CBS News correspondents on the World News Roundup for reports from the major news centers of the world. Every evening, let The World Tonight take you to the scene of the news for on-the-spot reports and lively interviews with people in the news. No matter what is happening, no matter where it's happening, you'll be well informed if you follow the story on CBS Radio every time.
Excellent coffee, Mrs. Enderby. Served on excellent china in a delightful patio. You must be very happy here.
Tell him, honey.
I am.
I see.
My father wasn't honest with you, Mr. Paladin. All he wanted was to set you against Dave. Did he tell you the way everybody back home talked about Dave?
And all those scrapes he got into? He was forced.
You're raking me with them spurs again.
If you think you're going to turn me against Dave...
He came for me, honey. Your daddy don't even want to see you again.
That's true. He doesn't care if he ever sees me again.
How do you know?
She knows her, old man. Got a hide thick as alligator.
Dave!
You managed to put some lead into that tough hide.
He what?
Now, don't you believe that, honey. I told the boys to let your daddy be. I saw him right away without a scratch.
And your father saw Dave bushwhack him.
Now, honey, don't that prove he'll say anything to split us?
You've got quite a problem, Nancy. Who's the liar? Your husband or your father?
Dave's wild, but he's no murderer.
If I'd done half the things folks say, I'd been dancing at the end of a rope long ago.
There's still time.
Dave, he's trying to make you fight. Don't let him.
He has to fight. Or come along with me. He's got my gun, but still he won't fight. He's yellow.
It's not true.
If you had a belly for fighting, you'd have finished off that fellow in the cantina. You'd have finished me. But you couldn't, because we were face to face with you.
Shut up.
You're a rotten little coward. You can only bushwhack men. Stab or shoot them in the back.
Why, you...
He's only knocked out. He'll wake up soon enough.
I wish he'd killed you.
But he didn't. Now...
What are you doing?
Just getting my gun back. And
No, stop.
I'll have to finish him.
No, please.
I haven't a chance of getting out of Perdido alive otherwise.
Don't kill him, don't. I'll do anything you say, please.
Help me get out of Perdido. Come with me through the pass.
All right.
No trouble, no tricks. I have your word.
Yes, you have my word.
All right, let's go.
I'll turn back here. You're almost out of the pass.
A little farther. I can still see the guards.
You're perfectly safe now. I got you out of Perdido.
Nancy, why don't you come back with me?
You're crazy.
You're wrong about your father. He wants you back. You've hurt him, but he loves you. Why not come back with me?
No.
You'd rather stay in Perdido with Enderby?
Yes.
Then I'll have to take you.
Stop it. Let go of the rein.
Don't worry. If he really loves you, he'll come after you. Sounds like he's worked himself free.
And you will soon be sorry you ever saw Perdido.
You'll have to catch us first. Yeah. Yeah. Come on.
Are we going to ride all night?
The idea is to lose Dave, isn't it? We go on.
Please! Gally, slow down!
After we cross the Rio Grande.
Oh, please. Can't we stop and rest?
I guess we can. He'll be catching up with us about now. Between the two of us, we've left a clear enough trail.
Between the two of us?
You think I didn't notice you dropping things along the way? If the trail was any longer, you'd have had a problem in modesty. Come on. We'll make camp here and have breakfast.
You wanted him to follow us.
Of course. I don't get paid without him.
Time was when the sedan chair was considered the height of luxury. When you think of all the places you go and all the things you now do by radio, a sedan chair doesn't seem like much of a luxury at all. Tuned to a radio network like the CBS radio network, you can, in a matter of moments, travel to foreign capitals to learn what's happening to individuals or whole nations at a time. Because a network like CBS radio is made up of many stations like the one you're listening to now, the smartest supper clubs from New York to San Francisco invite you to dance to the music of their big-name bands night after night. Because CBS Radio's vast network facilities extend in every direction, you can laugh with the funniest comedians in Hollywood or on Broadway. Then move on to a serious discussion of space-age problems, and all in the course of an evening. By all means, use that sedan chair if you have one. But if you want to go places fast, take CBS Radio along.
Have some more bacon? No?
You simply used me. To bring him out of Perdido.
No. Let's say I accomplish two purposes with one action. To take you back to your father where you belong, and to get Enderby to the gallows where he belongs.
There's more of your lies about my father still warning me, about Dave shooting him.
Dave tried to shoot him in the back, the way he'll try to shoot me, now that he's here.
What do you mean?
He's up there in the rocks behind me, isn't he?
How did you know?
I've been watching your eyes, depending on them to warn me. Now, if you...
No, Dave!
See how he works? If there's a way of crawling around to a man's back, he finds it.
You're wrong. Besides, I don't care how he does it, just so he kills you.
But that last shot might have killed you.
You're crazy. He's my husband. He came after me.
Not because he loves you, but because nobody takes anything away from him.
He doesn't know. He thinks... Dave! Dave, I didn't leave you. He forced me. Come and get him.
You get down. You wasted your breath. He won't come. He won't face a fair fight even for you.
You're wrong.
I'll prove it. All right. Enderby. Here I come. All right, Enderby. You've got a good shot at me now. And so have I at you. You want to finish it? You're welcome to try.
No. No, I give up.
Dave, are you all right?
Listen, Paladin, I'll make a deal with you. It's really her the old man wants, not me. You take her and let me go.
Dave!
What about it, Paladin?
No deal. I'll take you both.
Gotch!
Yes, sir, Mr. Reed.
Someone just rode into the yard. You better get outside there and...
Mr. Paladin.
And Enderby.
Delivered. Breathing.
Well, not for long.
Wait, you can't shoot me. I got a right to a hearing.
Mr. Reed.
Just a minute, Mr. Reed. $1,000 first. I like things orderly. A bank draft will do.
Well, I have it all written out. There's your blood money, bounty hunter. Now get out.
Thank you for sticking to the letter of our agreement. I'll do the same.
You did. I paid you. Hey, give me my gun.
I didn't agree to become an accessory to murder.
You're in cahoots, the two of you. Suckered me for $1,000, gonna ride off laughing.
Not Dave. The law will take care of him.
And you figure to pick up the reward, too.
No. That belongs to Nancy.
Nancy?
Outside. But there's no use bringing her in. You said you never wanted to see her again.
She had the nerve to come back here, did she? I'll give her what for. Nancy! You come here! All right. Look up at me. Come on.
Dad, your leg.
Oh, I'm all right.
Are you sure? How do you feel?
Well, how do you think I feel? With a daughter ain't got no more sense than to stand out here in the sun when she's got a house to go into. Now go on. You get to your room. You get washed up. You look like you've been in a stampede. Now go on. Get Nancy, girl.
All right, Dad.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, so happy to see you back in San Francisco. All okay.
Hello, hey boy.
Oh, I brought lots of papers to your room, Mr. Paladin, and a pretty lady leave letter.
Oh? Well, it's nice to be home.
No one we know of approves of wasting money. In spite of that, however, we Americans are often guilty of wasting our money by the uses we make of our government facilities. Take the operation of the post office, for example. Mostly out of habit, many offices and individuals post outgoing mail at the end of the day. In so doing, they leave post office employees with too little work to do at other times of the day. In addition, we forget to include zone numbers as part of the address. In both ways, we're slowing down the entire system for delivering mail and adding to the cost of our postal operation. The problem is simple enough to solve. Start solving it tomorrow. If you will arrange to post letters and packages earlier in the day and include zone numbers on the return address as well as the outgoing address, you'll help our post office operate more efficiently for you and at less cost, too. Remember, for faster, more economical service, mail early in the day and include zone numbers. Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonough, and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Sam Rolfe and adapted for radio by John Dunkel. Featured in the cast were Paul Dubov, Gene Bates, Joseph Kearns, William Allen, Don Diamond, Howard Culver, and Lillian Byatt. Hugh Douglas speaking.
Any one of you who tries to put a torch to that building will die in his tracks. Now, who wants to be first?
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Come in.
Here it is, Mr. Paladin. Whiskey, water, ice. You want something else?
I want you to take this money over to the bank and deposit it for me.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, great deal of money, Mr. Paladin.
$5,000. Here's a deposit slip.
Yes, sir.
Well?
Oh, all the time I know you, Mr. Paladin, you have money.
Money I earned?
Yes, sir, what, so much money. You buy clothes, you live here, you pay for many things. You ever work and not earn money?
I don't understand you.
Oh, hey, I work and not earn money. Most people do the same thing.
If it makes you feel any better, I've often worked and not been paid a dime.
Oh, it makes me feel better.
But I try not to make a habit of it.
Oh, I know. Oh, well, I take this now. Wire for you from Nevada.
Let's see.
You send answer?
Yeah. Yes, tell him, have gun, will travel.
If dandruff dulls your hair, leaves your scalp itchy, please listen. You can get rid of annoying dandruff so fast today, no one should suffer any longer. With Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo, unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. Besides that, using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And while removing dandruff, Fitch can also brighten hair up to 35%. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
The trip to Nevada was for nothing. When I got there, my employer's problem had been settled. He'd been killed, and his killer had been hanged. So I turned around and started back for San Francisco, and that's how I happened to ride through Wormsville. Not really a town, just a single line of ragged buildings facing the open prairie, but trying to be a town. One of the buildings was a log cabin with a flagpole in front of it. Sitting by the side of the road, tracing figures in the dust with a willow branch, was a young boy. I stopped beside him.
Hello, mister.
Hello, son. You're going to be late for school.
Ain't going.
Oh? Why not?
Not till they get rid of the school teacher.
What'd she do?
Nothing.
Oh. You don't like her, is that it?
Miss Stanton? I like her fine, but Pa says I can't go.
Why does Pa say that, boy?
On account of Mr. Breck says it to him.
Breck? Who's Mr. Breck?
He owns that big ranch over there. He don't like what Miss Stanton was teaching about Quantrill.
What was Miss Stanton teaching about Quantrill?
She says Quantrill's men were thieves and murderers. Mr. Breck rode with Quantrill in the war. Said he'd burn down the school and ride her out of town if she didn't stop teaching that way.
So I take it Miss Stanton is still teaching that way, huh?
Yep. She's stirring up a fuss. Hardly anybody's going to school now.
Well, it seems to me it's Mr. Breck who's stirring up the fuss. What's your name?
Morse Kaufman, sir.
Morse. My name is Paladin. Can I sit down?
Sure.
How do you feel about all this?
I don't know rightly, Mr. Paladin. Seems Miss Stanton oughtn't to teach things that cause trouble.
Let me ask you something, Morse.
Yes, sir?
1 and 1 make 2. You believe that?
Sure.
Well, supposing I didn't like the number 2. Supposing I just as soon forget it and use 1 and 3 and 4 and so on, but never 2. Then what?
Well, that'd be wrong, Mr. Paladin.
Then maybe it's wrong to think that Miss Stanton or any teacher could do a very good job by ignoring the facts of history, no matter how much they upset some people.
Maybe, but Mr. Breck don't see it that way. He's too mean to think. Everybody does what he says.
Except Miss Stanton.
Except Miss Stanton.
You wish to see me?
Yes. May I speak to you alone, Miss Stanton?
Miss Grubb, will you kindly come up here and sit at my desk? The rest of you go right on with your reading. After you've finished page 18 in McGuffey, then you may work on your slates. This way, young man. Well?
I'll get right to the point, Miss Stanton. I don't like what you've been teaching about the Jayhawkers.
The Jayhawkers?
Kansas, Missouri patriots that organized to fight for the Union on the border. I hear you've been teaching that they committed a good many vicious and unprincipled acts. Is that true?
Mr. Breck doesn't want me to teach about Quantrill and his atrocities. And now you, whoever you are, don't want me to teach of the Jayhawkers' atrocities, merely because they were on the Union side. Young men, I will teach the truth as it is, and not as you or Mr. Breck would like it to be.
Good for you, Miss Stanton.
What?
I just wanted to see if you were telling both sides of the story.
Who are you, mister?
My name is Paladin. Here's my card.
Well, I don't understand. Who hired you?
No one's hired me.
I still don't understand, Mr. Paladin.
Miss Stanton, is anyone in this town on your side?
No, I'm afraid not. I used to have 18 pupils. You saw the handful in there. Tomorrow there'll be even less. Mr. Paladin, I can't pay you for anything.
Oh, no. I don't want pay. Just to say that this is something I want to do.
You don't know what you're getting into. Breck, all his gunmen.
I've heard about him.
There isn't anyone who'll face up to him.
If this is going to be settled by guns, you have at least one on your side.
Guns? Oh, Mr. Paladin, there must be no fighting. Not over me.
You're a teacher. That makes you very special. Without teachers, every generation would have to start all over again, learning from the beginning. No, Miss Stanton, you're very much worth fighting over. You're a teacher.
Thank you, Mr. Paladin. I needed someone to say that. I really did.
Molly Stanton gave me a list of all of her students and where they lived. She did it with little hope that it would do any good, but with the same kind of determination with which she stood up and spoke the truth in her teaching. I could do no less than make use of the list.
I told you my Susan ain't going back to school until that teacher clears out. Now, we've been all over it.
Then we'll go over it again. Now, where's your pride, Mr. Coldwell? If Breck threatened Susan's life with a gun, you'd be out there with your gun making a fight of it. But when he takes over a piece of her mind, you crawl into a hole.
You get out of here.
I'd be glad to leave if you'll do something about Breck.
I'll do as I see fit. Now get out of my house.
Mr. Coldwell, adults sometimes forget that children are learning all the time. Your Susan learns not only by what you tell her, but by the way you live. What do you suppose she's learning right now?
Get out!
Yes, sir?
Good evening, Morse. Is your father home?
Who is it? Man who was at the school today, Pa. Mr. Paladin.
May I come in, Mr. Kaufman? I'd like to talk to you.
Come on in. Oh, what do you want to talk about?
The school. I've heard around town that tomorrow Breck's riding in to burn it down.
You want help? Is that it?
Yes. I'm asking the people this involves for that help.
Yeah? How have you been doing?
Oh, poorly. Huh? I've been riding 6 hours tonight, talking, arguing. Everyone's afraid of Breck. How about you? Would you help?
If I said no, would you figure it's because I'm scared of Breck?
Why else would you say no?
Might be I figure he's right.
He isn't.
This fight is over Quantrill. What he was, what he done.
Mr. Kaufman, you're wrong when you say this is a fight over Quantrill. It isn't. This is a fight over whether a man named Breck will burn down a school and drive a woman out of the county for teaching. Look, Mr. Kaufman, you hire a teacher, and you see that she has the proper training and the right moral character for the job. Then you have to let her do that job. You hold her back, you tell her what to teach and what not to teach. She ends up teaching nothing.
All right, but that ain't my fight. Jason and them other folks in town don't like me, the way I talk. They make fun of me. If everybody was to make a stand, I'd go along, but I don't see doing their fighting for them.
But this is for yourself.
You have spoken your piece, Mr. Paladin. You've had my answer.
But not once have you mentioned the real reason you won't stand up to Breck.
What do you mean?
You're afraid of him.
Wait. No one calls me a coward and walks away.
Well, you just look me up at the school tomorrow if you want to finish this. Unless you'd rather shoot me in the back right now.
Our cat has 9 lives. She makes that clear with every impulsive leap from sofa to the top of the bookcase. All the same, she can compete with you when it comes to getting places. In no more time than it takes the cat to reach her favorite perch, you can be in Rome or Tokyo or anywhere else exciting things are happening. You do that daily on CBS Radio as network features like our World News Roundup and The World Tonight take you to the scene of the news. For all her 9 lives, our cat can't compete with you either where experience is concerned. Vast network facilities make CBS Radio a meeting place for interesting people, real and fictional, whose personal histories enrich your own. Why envy the cat her 9 lives when CBS Radio invites you to share the life experiences of celebrities who visit you on programs like our Mitch Miller Show, and invites you to share emotions with the heroes and heroines in our many fine dramatic shows.
The next morning, Molly Stanton appeared at the school 15 minutes before class was scheduled to begin. She tidied her desk, made notes for the day, then stepped out into the yard and rang the bell. But there was no one to ring it for. No students, no parents.
There's our support, Mr. Paladin.
Then we'll meet Breck by ourselves.
Why? What for? What am I fighting about? They're not my children. Those people don't care. Why should I?
Because you do care. You care for the children, your own integrity.
They just want their children here, out from underfoot.
I'm sorry I'm late in Stanton.
Well, you've certainly been a stranger, Susan. Go on now, get to your desk. You have 2 weeks' work to catch up on.
Yes, ma'am.
You see, Miss Stanton? You were wrong. Somebody does care.
Mr. Paladin, look.
I see them.
I'll wait here with you.
No. Now, you go on in and run your school.
Well, good luck.
You, Jackson Breck?
That's right. And you're the one who's been siding with that old hen in there. All right, boys. I got enough men to do the job that's got to be done. You can see that, stranger.
I can see.
But you're going to try to stop me?
That's the idea.
You're a fool. Get that gun of his. Now, hold it, Cooley. He bends easy without his gun.
Leave him alone! Let him go! Mr. Paladin, Mr. Paladin!
You see all the trouble you went and caused?
You're an animal!
You should have packed your things, teacher. Now they'll just have to burn up with the school. You kid, give me that book.
No! Leave that child alone!
I ain't gonna hurt the kid. I just want the book. Make a good torch. Yeah, you see? Burns pretty good.
Don't do it, Breck.
Oh, I'm gonna do it all right. Burns real nice, don't it? Here, Cooley, toss it inside. Ought to start the whole place off.
Give me my book.
Get away, kid.
Leave her alone, Breck.
What?
It's my daughter. You leave her alone.
Jason, put that rifle away.
Don't nobody make a move. I'll kill the first man who does.
Cooley, move around behind him.
Don't you try it, Cooley. I mean what I say.
You're going to be sorry for this, Jason. Turn on your friends like you are, we'll remember, and you'll be sorry.
Hold it, Frank. Hold up there.
Oh, Walter Kaufman come to join the fun. That's just one more for you to worry about, Jason.
What's going on here? What is the gun for, Jason?
I changed my mind, Kaufman. I ain't with Breck no more.
That's so?
And I'll tell you, just like I told him, one false move from anybody and I fire.
Jason, I got a score to settle.
I told you he'd be on our side, Jason.
I didn't say I was on any side. Cooley, give Paladin back his gun.
What?
Give it to him, Cooley. Give it to him or Jason and I'll start shooting.
Thank you.
Now you've got your gun back, Paladin. You can speak to Breck for all of us.
All right, Breck. No one's holding me now. You got 2 hands, gun in that holster. You're standing on your own 2 feet. What else do you want? An edge?
Well,
Or maybe this'll help you fight. Oh. You only draw against women. Is that it? Or maybe school teachers, your specialty? Or children? All right, if not you, how about one of your men? You? How about you? Anybody? And get on your horses and get out of here. And Breck, one more thing. Don't try sneaking back some dark night. You wouldn't be very hard to find afterwards.
That's right, Breck. Big man like you wouldn't be hard to find at all. Hey, Jason?
No, there'd be nothing to it. Let's get out of here. Well, it's finished.
Not quite. Paladin, last night you called me a coward.
Yes, I did.
Why?
I wanted you mad enough so you'd think about what I said.
It made me think. That is for sure.
I never thought you were a coward, Mr. Kaufman. I knew you were afraid. I knew what you were afraid of. That you'd fight for Jason here and his friends, and afterwards they'd just laugh at you for being a fool.
And I might have, too, Walter. I was proud about all the wrong things. Like you having an accent and me not. Then when I saw Breck going after Susan, well, maybe that's what helped me get things straight.
I'm glad. Well, now, isn't it time to get the children back to school?
Oh, Mr. Paladin, you're back so soon. Welcome. Oh, you give me back.
How you been, hey boy? Anything happened while I was gone?
Oh, yes, many things happened. Ship blow up in harbor, streetcar break chain and run downhill, man chase wife through the street with butcher knife. Many things happened. Oh, yes, sir.
Well, I suppose I mean, did anything good happen?
Oh, you let me think, Mr. Paladin. No.
I beg your pardon.
What?
My name is Francis. Has anyone paged my name in the lobby in the last few minutes?
Not since we've been here, Mrs. Francis.
It's Miss.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Miss Francis. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Paladin.
How do you do?
You're staying here at the hotel?
Why, yes. I registered yesterday.
And, are you staying long?
That depends. I might stay indefinitely if I find San Francisco interesting.
I'm certain that you will find it that way.
Really, Mr. Paladin?
With my help, of course.
How nice.
Shall we say 8 o'clock?
How very nice. Yes. Until then?
Until 8 o'clock.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Hey, boy.
Yes, sir.
You lied.
I lied? Oh, no, Mr. Paladin, I don't lie.
Something very good did happen while I was away.
Here comes Elmer Blurt, world's lowest pressure salesman.
Nobody home, I hope. Oh, gosh, it says salesman keep out.
Hey, come back here.
You wouldn't want to buy a new Rambler American station wagon, would you, mister?
You poor fella. Let me show you how to sell. You gotta use high pressure.
Yeah, but...
You gotta tell the customer you must buy America's lowest price station wagon, the Rambler American. The small wagon with automatic transmission, the reclining seat, deep coil springs, and handsome American styling.
Is that a fact?
Then you say the Rambler American is America's easiest parking station wagon and can save hundreds of dollars a year on gas and maintenance.
But will that high pressure work?
I'll prove it works. Order me a Rambler American station wagon. Now, how do you like my sales technique?
Well, it's not as good as your neighbor's.
Oh?
No, he just sold himself a Rambler station wagon and a Rambler sedan.
Want a whale of a buy on a used car? See your Rambler dealer right now for a tremendous assortment of select used cars taken in trade on all the new Ramblers. See your Rambler dealer for a select used car. Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe. He is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell and stars John Dehner as Paladin with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Sam Rolfe and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Helen Cleve, Carrie Bartell, Richard Perkins, Virginia Gregg, and Joel Davis. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
My gun was handcrafted to my specifications. I rarely draw it unless I mean to use it.
Have Gun, Will Travel. starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Oh, Mr. Paladin.
Yes?
About that imported silk shawl you ordered as a gift for a lady.
Oh, yes. Very pretty.
But you didn't say about the color. Is it for a blonde or a brunette?
Why, I'm not sure yet. Perhaps you'd better leave one of each. Just tell the clerk at the desk to charge them to my bill.
Of course. Thank you, Mr. Paladin.
Ah, there you are, hey boy.
Oh, yes, Mr. Paladin. I have 2 messages for you. One from San Francisco City Jail. Mr. Holgate say he get your card and want you to come see him.
Oh, yes, he's the murderer who's afraid he'll be lynched when they take him back to stand trial in some little town in Wyoming.
Oh, and he say you better hurry. Sheriff come here and take him away on 9 o'clock train tonight.
And the other message?
Ah, pretty lady wait for you.
Huh?
Over there.
Oh, it's too bad.
What I tell her, Mr. Paladin?
Give her my sincere regrets, hey boy. Tell her later. I have a train to catch.
Even if you've had embarrassing dandruff for years, you can get rid of it now in 3 minutes. That's all it takes with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. Yes, unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes with Fitch. Quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. What's more, using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Just apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes, with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. At the same time, gentle Fitch can leave your hair up to 35% brighter. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
Hey, you just made it, mister. Hey, give you a hand with that bag?
No, thanks. I can manage.
You carry it like it was eggs. Most room up in the front.
Say, what's going on in there?
Why, I don't know. It's that murderer. He's loose. Look out.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Get out of the way.
You seem to have gotten tangled up in an iron clothesline.
Get out of my way, you crazy fool.
Yes.
Stop, Holgate. Stop right there. I'll blow you in half with this shotgun. Oh, you clumsy fool.
Well, Sheriff, why didn't you just pull the trigger and end it right here? You might as well have.
You just get back to your seat real careful like. Take them leg irons off to make you more comfortable. You pay me back by kicking me in the head. You just catch me trying to be decent to you again. All right, now sit down. Take your leg out. And to you, mister, thank you.
Glad to be of help to an officer of the law.
You're only helping a man get lynched, that's all.
Shut up, Holgate.
If you don't mind, Sheriff, I'd like to talk to your prisoner.
Oh, sure. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Holgate, you got my card. I got your message.
You're Paladin? I figured you to be on my side.
Who'd you say you was, mister?
The name is Paladin. And your name?
Sheriff Swink.
Oh, what is this, a cozy chat? Listen, Paladin, I hired your gun to turn me loose.
You're hired to turn him loose?
Mr. Holgate has his facts slightly confused. Would you mind pointing that some other way, please, Sheriff? Thank you. Now, Mr. Holgate, what makes you think you'll be lynched?
Easy. The town's named Bender, after Max Bender. It was his son caught my bullet.
How did you come to shoot him?
Oh, just an argument in a saloon, a few drinks. You know how it is.
He had a gun?
Well, he had one.
Oh, sure. It was home on his dresser.
Well, how'd I know that? I didn't notice.
I see. Well, Mr. Holgate, tell you what I'll do. For $200, I'll see that you're delivered alive to stand trial.
You call that a bargain?
Man has a chance with a fair trial, but there's no debating a lynching bee.
All right. You'll get the money when I step into the courtroom.
And just to be sure, I'll choose somebody to hold the fee. When's the trial, Sheriff?
Circuit judge is due at the end of the week. We'll beat him there by, a day maybe.
And what are the chances of my employer here being lynched?
I reckon somebody's going to try.
Will you stop it?
Well, that'd be a hard decision to make.
But I can assume we're on the same side. Aren't we, Sheriff?
I reckon.
That puts two of us on the side of the right.
Well, don't crow, mister. Them ain't good odds with the whole town on the other side.
I never did like this town.
Don't worry, you won't be here long.
At least there's not a mob to meet us.
No. Just the Benders over there.
Who are they?
Max Bender, his daughter Amy. The town's named after the old man. Howdy, Max. Miss Amy.
Hello, Sheriff.
How'd you know we'd come in on this train?
We waited on every train. I wanted to see the man who killed my son.
He's going to have a trial, Max.
Yeah.
My brother didn't have a trial.
No, Amy.
Or a smart lawyer who might trick him to freedom or get him off with a prison sentence.
But the man who killed him will have a trial.
Who are you?
Paladin's my name. Mr. Holgate hired me to see that he isn't lynched.
So the gunfighters are all for law and order now, if the pay is right.
No, Miss Bender, you don't buy law and order. You fight for it.
Yes. Once you have it, you don't throw it away.
Your father knows how hard law is to come by.
There will be no trial. Your neighbors will come for him, Sheriff. I know you'll do what's right.
I think he will, miss. And so will you.
7 nights a week on CBS Radio, most of these same stations present The World Tonight. On The World Tonight, ace CBS newsmen broadcast direct from where the news is developing, along with well-detailed eyewitness reports on current events. The World Tonight brings you lively interviews with people in the news. When big things are happening in London, Paris, Moscow, Tokyo, or Rome, they're all within speaking distance on The World Tonight. For a penetrating look beneath the surface of the news, CBS Radio invites you to hear Eric Severide's news analysis. Wise in the ways of the news, Eric Severide explores a particular and important aspect each weekday evening. Invariably, he comes up with new keys to understanding. Always interesting, always illuminating, Eric Severide's perceptive news analysis makes an exciting companion piece to The World Tonight. Listen for both of these fine news features regularly.
Oh, you can relax, Holgate. You're safe in there. Temporarily, anyways.
Yeah, but they'll be swarming around soon enough. You remember you got a job, Paladin.
To keep you from getting lynched, I'll remember.
Greetings, gentlemen. Just passing by and saw the light. Figured you were back.
Howdy, Mr. Coombs.
Holgate.
You didn't waste no time, Coombs.
My client and I must start preparing our defense.
Oh, who are you?
He's all right. I've hired his gun. Name's Paladin.
Oh? Well, now, if we can have some privacy.
Oh, sure. Prisoner's got a right to have counsel with his lawyer. Let's rap on the bars when you're through.
Oh, sir.
We still have some business details to arrange, Holgate. You tell your lawyer to turn the fee over to the person I name.
I'll tell him.
Sheriff, you mind if I bed down on one of these cots in your office?
Oh, that's all right. Then, I'll be using the other.
I thought it was settled. We're on the same side.
I'd just like to be sure.
Any place I can lock this up?
Roll top desk has got a key.
Good, it'll do.
Hey, well, what's in that bag anyways?
Just some of the tools of my trade.
What kind of tools is that?
The kind that might help quiet a lynch mob.
We give 'em Holgate. That'll quiet 'em.
I thought we were on the same side.
We are.
I'd just like to be sure. Which one is the Bender store, Mr. Coombs?
That one, up there.
Yeah, there's a noose hanging out in front.
Yes, that's Amy's doing.
And she's stirring the pot until it boils over?
I never suspected she had such a mean streak in her. She was always such a nice, quiet girl.
I guess it's frustrating for a woman. She can't strap on a gun and settle an affair like this with her own hands.
Oh, I hope this won't take too long. I have more important things to do.
Like figuring a way to save your client?
Something like that, yes. Shall we go in?
Bring him up right now. Who's that with Coombs?
Well, what do you want here?
I want you to hold some money for me, Mr. Coombs.
Here it is. $200.
You're not to give it to me until Holgate steps into the courtroom for trial. If he dies before then, return it to Coombs.
You think I'll hold your blood money?
Blood money for keeping a man alive?
I'll hold that for you.
Dad!
Give it to me.
Thank you, Mr. Bender. Give him the money, Mr. Coombs.
Very well. There you are, Max.
Dad, if you won't help us, at least stay out of it.
How can I do that, Amy? I live in this town, too. Good day, Mr. Paladin.
Good day, sir. Amy, your father is a very wise man.
Excuse me. I guess you don't need me anymore. I'll be in my office, Paladin. Miss Amy?
Look, Mr. Paladin, I just want Holgate to pay for my brother's murder. I don't want anybody else to get hurt.
So far, no argument.
Now, Sheriff Swink's not going to shoot at his friends, so no one will harm him.
Go on.
That leaves just you. But you're liable to kill somebody and be killed in turn, and there's no telling where it'll stop.
It would seem so.
You're doing it for money. What if I gave you more money to leave town now?
That's a definite offer, I take it?
Cash. I'll get it right
Now,
away.
wait. I'm afraid not. Switching sides is most unethical.
Unethical? Why,
Did you ever see a lynching, Miss Bender?
No.
Your imagination would fall far short of the truth. No matter what he's done, Holgate won't be handed over to feed the animal instincts of the mob.
I told you, I don't want anybody hurt but him.
Amy,
Yes, Clint.
you need any help?
No.
The trouble with a lynching, Miss Bender, you can't have it ordered up all dainty, neat, like a yard of lace. It's something that cowards get whiskied up for and mumble over and wind up screaming in the gutters of a dark night.
Go on, get out of here. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
Isn't there?
Listen, mister. You take her advice. Get out of town. A double blast from this shotgun ought to cut a man in half.
That man won't be any deader than a man with a .45 bullet between his eyes.
There's room enough out there in front, Gunfighter, for another noose.
So there is. And earth enough to bury every man who comes to me with a rope.
Men, think how thrilled your wife would be if you made her a bedside table that swings on hinges like a gate and brings everything within easy reach. Or a beautiful built-in dispenser for paper towels, aluminum foil, wax paper, and plastic wrap. Or narrow folding doors to replace that wide closet door that blocks the hallway. These are just a few of the exciting ideas for living better on less money in the new Popular Science magazine, now on sale at your newsstand. It's crammed with new ideas, new products, new tips and techniques for lovers of cars, boats, woodworking, metalworking, photography, hi-fi. 282 pages, 380 pictures. There's even a special money-saving 20-page booklet on how to fix electric motors. It's bound right into the magazine. And this month, to win new friends for Popular Science, the magazine is now on sale at your newsstand for 10 cents off the regular price, only 25 cents. Get the new February Popular Science today. Look for the bright blue band on the cover. Popular Science Magazine.
What's going on out there? I didn't hear him.
They're gathering down in front of the Bender store. Getting steamed up. They'll be moving before long.
Yeah. Well, you fellas don't be napping.
We won't.
What you looking at me like that for? What are you thinking?
Just wondering what you're thinking. You're mighty cheerful for a man about to face a lynch mob.
Well, I got confidence in you and the sheriff. I figure you'll give him what for.
Paladin!
Coming! Well, see you in court.
You better, or you don't get paid.
What is it?
Oh, here, have a look.
What?
Funny thing. See them two riders just leaving Coombs' place, heading down the side street, trailing a third horse?
Yeah, they look like two cowboys.
Yeah, and Willie and McKeith, Holgate's friends. Now, what would they be doing at his lawyer's?
I got a better question to chew on. Who do they figure to ride that extra horse?
Yeah. Oh, I reckon that question's gonna have to wait. They're getting about ready to move. There's another shotgun in the closet, Paladin.
No, thanks. Incidentally, Miss Bender says you won't use that shotgun against your friends out there.
Miss Bender's mistaken.
Sheriff, I'll buy you a drink after this is over.
Maybe.
Well, looks like everybody's here. I'd say we're all ready. What's the matter, Amy?
Nothing. Nothing's the matter. You bring him here.
Yeah, so you can put the rope around his neck. You just wait here, and we'll bring him to you.
Dad, what you doing with that gun?
Well, Max, you change your mind?
I'm going to the jail. Stand beside the sheriff and that fellow Paladin against his mom.
Now, hold on, Max. You're getting turned around.
From the beginning, we had decency and law in this town. Now you're going to wipe it all out in one night.
We're doing this for your son.
No, don't use my boy as an excuse. Get out of my way.
You better stay here and take it easy, Max. Now, give me that rifle.
Clint!
Never mind. Sheriff will give me another.
I said stay here.
Get your hands off me.
Dad, don't. Clint, don't.
All right, now. Come on. Let's go. Let's do it.
Dad. Oh, Dad.
I'm all right. But, Amy, what have you done?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know it would be like this.
Here they are. And Paladin, you better get that shotgun.
I've got something better in the desk.
I'll get back, I'm warning you!
Now, wait a minute, Sheriff.
Hey, Paladin, what are you doing?
Opening the door.
No, wait!
All right. Hold it. Hold it. No need breaking down doors when you can open them with dynamite. All right, now. Here. Who wants it? You, big fella.
No!
Well, if nobody wants it, here. Just putting out the fuse. It was a long, slow-burning one.
That crowd is still running. I don't blame them.
Well, they won't collect again. Mob courage is a momentary thing. Once it's gone for good.
The street's clean deserted of them. Except over there. Yeah, there's Clint. Let's go after him, Paladin.
You go ahead. I got a client who thinks he doesn't have to go to court.
I'll nail Clint. We can tie this thing up.
Go ahead. I'm going back and check Holgate.
Willie, what's happened? I can't hear nothing. The crowd's gone. Something's wrong. Well, we better go ahead anyway. Now, whip your horses and pull out the bars. That's fine. You did it.
You hold it right there, Holgate.
Paladin, don't shoot!
All right, out there. You stay where you are.
No, I got no gun, Paladin!
All right. Just stay put.
You killed Willie and McKee. You're good. Awful good.
That's why you hired me.
Yes, but there's no call you get mixed up in this. You just collect your money and forget about it.
I couldn't do that. I can't collect until you walk into the courtroom.
Listen, Paladin, I'll make it 1,000 if you'll just walk away.
You don't understand. You hired me to get you into that courtroom. And that's where you're going, to be tried for murder.
Mr. Paladin! Mr. Paladin!
Oh, hello, Amy. Mr. Bender.
Here's your money, Paladin. $200.
Thank you.
Now that Holgate's in court, there's a lot of people in this town that are grateful to you today. But it's not in their nature to come out and admit it.
Well, I'm admitting it.
And with such a long face.
I'm so ashamed and confused. Why did you want me to hold your pay?
Because it's an honest face, too.
Oh, come back to Bender again, Mr. Paladin.
I'd be delighted. Goodbye.
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 Oh, Mr. Paladin, welcome back to San Francisco. You have a good trip?
More excitement than money, hey boy. But it's good to be home.
I take you back.
No, I'll manage.
Oh, you have something valuable in it?
No, just the tools of the trade.
Oh, big secret. Something to upset apple cart?
You might say so, yes. Oh, by the way, hey boy, that pretty young lady who was...
Oh, yeah, she's still here and look plenty lonesome.
Oh. Now, let's see, was she blonde or brunette?
Huh?
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Beat on, hey boy, and forget the papers tonight.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced by Norman MacDonald and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Sam Rolfe and adapted for radio by John Dunkel. Featured in the cast were Jack Edwards, Jack Crucian, Virginia Christine, Olin Soleil, Roy Woods, and Vic Perrin. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
I came here to tell you I'm not an executioner. It doesn't feel good to kill a man. Not a bit good. But your husband didn't leave me any choice.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel. Headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Sounds wonderful. And then, Mr. Paladin?
And then, perhaps a cordial for a nightcap.
I do believe I'll be looking forward to this evening a great deal, Mr. Paladin.
And I, too.
Mr. Paladin.
Oh, what?
I've been looking for you. I find you.
Hey, boy, your timing is abysmal.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Paladin, but credit must go to mailman. He just brings special delivery letter for you.
Excuse me, my dear.
What?
Oh, say, I'll meet you in the lounge later.
Well...
Oh, she in very high dungeon.
Dudgeon?
Esau, that's what I say. Very high dungeon.
Dear Mr. Paladin, I need you for an important assignment immediately, and so forth. There's a $3,000 bonus for you upon completion. Something. I appreciate you seeing you at your earliest convenience, so... Very truly yours, E.J. Randolph, Coloma Bank. Coloma.
Oh, you there not long ago, yes?
Yes, about 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah. Here are your 2 tickets for opera tonight.
I'll take them back, hey boy.
Yes. What?
I'm leaving for Coloma tonight.
Oh, must be real big trouble to interfere with lady who was almost kissed.
And wire Mr. Randolph. Tell him I'm on my way.
Dandruff bothers most men, most women too, so listen. Today you can get rid of embarrassing dandruff in just 3 minutes. Yes, with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. Unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. That's not all. Using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And never forget, gentle Fitch can also leave your hair up to 35% brighter. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
Coloma was a poor excuse for a town. It's out alone and awkward in the center of a dry, scorched plain with a few ranches stretching back towards the low mesas behind it. I'd been there before, and I killed a man there. I didn't like the town. I didn't like the people. But Randolph had offered me a lot of money. I found him sitting behind his desk at the bank.
Well, Paladin. Sure good to see you.
Hello, Mr. Randolph.
Sit down.
Thank you.
How about a little rye to cut the dust, huh?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Hey, didn't waste any time getting here.
The distance between San Francisco and Coloma is shorter when there's a $3,000 fee involved.
Right to the point. That's what I like about you, Paladin. That's why I sent for you. Well, here's luck.
Thank you. So, what can I do for you, Mr. Randolph?
You did a job for John Griffin about 2 months ago. He hired you to bring back Steve Morrow. Remember him?
You don't forget someone you've killed.
Didn't mean any offense.
No, I'm not offended. Morrow tried to kill me. I had to kill him. Griffin wanted Morrow because Morrow had killed his son. What's that got to do with you?
Morrow robbed this bank before he killed that Griffin boy. He took $30,000.
I still don't see the connection.
Paladin, I've got to have that $30,000 back by the first of the month or I'll lose everything I own.
And you need help?
Yes, I need help. Badly. 15 years of hard work, building a business and a name for myself, gone, just like that. Gone and signed over to John Griffin.
John Griffin? Well, how does he figure in this?
He's the biggest depositor the bank has. He knows about the stolen money, and he's using that knowledge. He's given me notice that he wants to withdraw $30,000 on the first. If I don't have it, the deed to this building and most of the other property the bank owns will be signed over to him. And I don't have it, Mr. Paladin.
Well, then, that makes my job fairly easy.
Well, how's that?
Find Morrow's widow. She must have the money, or at least know where it is.
I don't think so. She's still living in that cabin up there on the mesa. Well, the sheriff and I have been up a dozen times searching the place, trying to talk her into telling us where it is. She hasn't got the money. If she had it, she'd have left Coloma and gone someplace else to spend it. Either that or at least paid up the back taxes on the farm.
Huh. I thought for sure Rose had that money.
Rose?
Steve Morrow's widow.
You mean Lucy Morrow. Her name's Lucy.
Oh? I'm going to check into the hotel and freshen up a bit.
And then what?
Ride out and talk to Lucy Morrow. Morning, Mr. Randolph.
Yes?
Good afternoon, Miss Morrow. I'm Paladin.
Did you think I could forget you, Mr. Paladin?
No, I suppose not. I'd like to talk to you, if I may.
I'm going to work on the rose garden. You can talk there if you wish.
Yes, I noticed them as I rode up. They're beautiful.
They are. It's an eastern variety, Calinaris.
Oh? Must be rather difficult to grow them out here.
Oh, it's worth the trouble to have one lovely thing here. They were a present from Steve. He brought me some cuttings after one of his trips back east.
Why have you stayed on here?
Simple. There's nowhere else to go and no money to go with.
Your husband took $30,000 from the Coloma Bank. It's never been found.
This house was turned inside out. Do you think I'd be living here like this if I had $30,000?
Perhaps not.
I don't know anything about that money, Mr. Paladin.
I don't mean to bother you, Mrs. Morrow.
Why do you bother me then? You knew this before you came out here.
I killed Steve. If it hadn't been me, it would have been somebody else, somewhere else. He was an outlaw, a killer. I suppose I wanted to come here and tell you that I'm not an executioner. I was bringing him in, and he went for his gun. Doesn't feel good to kill a man. Not a bit good.
I know you're not the kind to kill for the sake of another notch on your gun, but Steve was my husband. Please don't come back here again. Or if you have to, wait until I'm gone.
You're leaving?
Yes. They're auctioning the place for $276 back taxes. Oh, don't look so pained. I'll get along. Maybe it'll be best. Get out of here, Paladin. Leave me alone, please.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Morrow.
Yeah, I'm a mean widow, kid.
And are you pleased with yourself?
Sure, 'cause I'm a germ. A bathroom germ. Bathrooms is where the meanest germs get to live. Do I have fun causing odor and spreading disease?
Well, you better watch out, son, or your landlady may find out about Lysol brand disinfectant.
Lysol?
No, Lysol.
That's what I said. Lysol.
Well, anyway, a lot of women are finding that a dash of Lysol in their cleaning suds every week wipes out nasty bathroom disease germs like you, disinfects from one cleaning to the next as no other product can, wipes out many deadly viruses, too. Lysol makes every cleaner work better. It's the easy, modern way to get bathrooms really clean and free of odors.
Lysol can do that?
And what's more, now besides regular Lysol, there's a new sweet-smelling pine-scented Lysol, and they're both out to get you.
Hey, was you ever a mean widow kid?
One more remark like that, and I'll open this bottle of Lysol.
The Griffin Ranch was the same as it had been. Old, and solid, and well kept. Run by a man who was old and solid and tough. A man who had lost one son by Steve Morrow's gun and had one son left. A man who could not forget or forgive.
Well, you look about the same, Paladin. Come on in, set a spell.
I'd just soon sit out here in the fresh air, Mr. Griffin.
Fine, fine. What brings you back to these parts?
$30,000.
Stolen money, eh? A lot of people like to get their hands on that. You ought to have a pretty good idea where it might be.
Why do you say that?
Well, you were the last person to be with that murdering fool. The way I had it figured, Morrow had the money with him when you killed him. I hear you've been living pretty high on the hog up in San Francisco.
Those are harsh words, Griffin.
Oh, no, don't get itchy. I was just only joshing. You wouldn't be back here if you had it.
Steve Morrow didn't have that money when I found him. And according to his wife, he didn't even have it when he left the farm.
Oh, you talked to her?
I just came from there.
Well, it takes a lot of nerve for a man to go up and talk to the wife of somebody he killed. Hey, you suppose Steve Morrow hid it on that farm of his?
Mr. Randolph and the sheriff searched it.
I know. Old Randolph's getting fidgety. A while back, he got the idea that Morrow buried the money up on the mesa. You never saw such digging and poking around. I swear the mesa's 10 feet shorter on account of it.
That farm adjoins your property, doesn't it?
Yeah. On the south. Why?
I hear it's up for auction. Should be worth at least a couple of $1,000 to you.
I'll get it for $276. The taxes.
Someone will outbid you at that price.
I don't reckon so, Paladin. Nobody else is going to bid on it. Those who can afford to bid on it don't have any use for that farm.
Randolph might have use for it.
Ah, that old pussyfoot. He wouldn't know how to plant potatoes.
He might know how to dig for stolen money.
Hey, tell me something, Paladin. You working for Randolph?
Maybe. Maybe not.
You are working for him. I might have known. You know, I'd just assume the money doesn't get back to the bank.
Oh?
I'd lose about $60,000 in holdings that belong to it. Those holdings will be mine come the first of the month. Oh, that's not a pretty way to talk, but at least it's the truth.
I see. What happens to Randolph, then?
Out in the cold where he deserves to be. If I ran my ranch like he runs that bank, I'd have been out of business a long time ago.
Well, getting close to sundown, I think I'll be heading back to town.
No, Paladin, I hate to see a man like you working on the dark side of the fence. I thought you always roamed the green fields.
Which are the green fields, Griffin?
Mine are.
By the way, you buy that farm just for the taxes. Steve Morrow's widow won't get a cent.
Well, now, ain't that a downright shame?
She didn't kill your son, Griffin.
No, but her husband did. All I hope is that his kin are going to suffer on account of it. That's how I feel about Morrow and her.
Come in.
Paladin?
Well, Mr. Randolph.
You, make it a habit, staying up this late?
I do my best thinking when the town's settled for the night.
You've covered a lot of ground today. Getting discouraged?
Did you come here to discourage me?
Yeah, there's a lot of territory between Coloma and the Mesa. Morrow could have hidden that money anywhere.
Not without telling his wife.
Now, since when does a killer stop to worry about his wife?
Randolph, whatever you want to say about Morrow, he loved his wife. He'd have wanted to make sure she was provided for. I even spoke about her when he was dying. His last words were, Rose, tell her that... Wait a minute. Tell her...
What are you talking about?
Randolph, that money's up there on the farm.
You mean she does have it?
She doesn't know it, but it's there.
But where is it, then? Why, we've torn that place apart.
You just didn't dig in the right spot. I'm going up there now and get your money. You wait here.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
And I'll be digging by 2.
Now there's a luxury car that fits regular parking spaces in ordinary garages that's easy to handle in traffic. It's America's compact luxury car, the Ambassador by Rambler. Now, medium-priced car buyers can have the room, comfort, luxury, and performance they expect in a fine car, but without excessive length, width, and bulk. If other medium-priced cars have sized and priced you out of the market, then you owe it to yourself to test our best. American Motors' finest, the luxuriously compact Ambassador. Note the quality construction and careful attention to detail. Thrill to the superbly responsive 270-horsepower V8 engine. Enjoy luxury features like individually adjustable front seats that glide back and forth separately. 5 minutes at the wheel of an Ambassador will change your ideas about luxury cars. Test our best, the Ambassador V8 by Rambler. Finest car ever priced so close to the lowest. See, drive the luxurious Ambassador now at Rambler dealers.
When I dismounted at Lucy Morrow's, I thought I heard a horse nicker in a nearby clump of cottonwoods. I waited, but all was quiet except for the wind through the trees. Lucy Morrow was a light sleeper. She answered my second knock.
What do you want?
Put the shotgun down, Miss Morrow.
What are you doing here this time of night?
The money. It's here on the farm.
We've been through that before, Paladin. They ripped my place apart. Every floorboard, every inch of this cabin, the yard's full of holes. You saw it this afternoon.
I know, Mrs. Morrow, but...
The money isn't here. Look, this is my last night in the only home I ever had, and I don't mean to be bothered.
Mrs. Morrow...
Now get away from here before I blast that shirt right off your back.
You wouldn't have to leave tomorrow if I find the money.
I'm not wasting any more words with you.
Miss Morrow, In your rose garden, is there a bush not doing well?
Paladin, it's late and it's cold.
Answer me, is there?
Well, yes, there is one, but what's that got to do with the money?
Flowers need soil at their roots, Ms. Morrow, not gold.
What?
You get me a shovel, I'll show you what I mean. You know, it took me a while to figure out that a dying man wouldn't call his wife Rose. Her name was Lucy. Ooh. Hold the lamp a little closer. I think we've got it. Now. Yeah, this is it. A leather bag from the Coloma Bank.
We'll open it.
Yeah.
Gold coins.
$30,000 worth.
Here in the rose garden all the time.
Drop that.
Huh?
Raise your hand.
What?
Come on, do what I say. Good. Now just stand steady. All right, Cleet. Let's move in. Keep that light high, woman, so as we can see you both.
Lucy.
Yes.
When I say the word, throw that lamp at them high, eye level, then hit the ground fast. I'll say when.
All right.
Now.
No more! Don't shoot again!
Just stand easy, mister.
You shot him. You shot my boy.
I didn't have much choice.
Cleet, boy. You hurt bad.
I'll be all right, Pa.
I'll get you for this, Paladin.
Don't try anything foolish, Mr. Griffin. You're already in enough trouble.
I'm in trouble.
Trying to hijack stolen money, trespassing, attempted murder.
Paladin. Paladin, there's someone coming.
Yeah, I heard him. I think it's Randolph.
Randolph?
He knew I was coming out here. He probably couldn't stand waiting in town. After all, the money belongs to his bank.
Paladin! Paladin, you all right?
Yes, we're all right. We're over here, Mr. Randolph.
Well, what happened? What was all the shooting?
Well, there was a little discussion as to who was going to get that bank's money. I won.
You mean you have the money? You found it, all of it?
I think so. Here.
Oh, good. Good, that's it right enough.
Now, in regards to my fee, Mr. Randolph.
Yes?
I want you to give it to Lucy.
What?
Lucy?
I think a woman ought to be able to keep her home if she wants to. At the auction tomorrow, you can decide whether you want to stay or leave this charming town.
Thank you, Paladin.
As for you, Griffin, get your boy back to your own ranch and bandage that leg of his. I don't think Lucy Morrow cares one way or the other what happens to you. Mr. Randolph wants to bring charges later. That's up to him. As for myself, I'm saying goodbye to Coloma for the last time.
Oh, you're back, Mr. Paladin.
And ready to see the city bright and shining?
Oh, best you go away 2-3 more days, maybe.
Why should I?
Her.
Who?
Her lady over there. He very unhappy when you no take her to the opera.
Well, didn't you explain it was business?
Oh, yes, sir.
Important business?
Yes, sir, but her business more important to her, I think, Mr. Paladin. He maybe kill you, huh?
I hope not. Well, the best way is the direct way. Excuse me.
Hmm? Oh.
I hope you missed me. You did miss me. Oh. I have no other cheek to turn.
Then kindly turn yourself around and leave me alone.
I can hardly do that. You see, I've thought of nothing and no one but you all this time.
Really?
Really?
Am I to believe?
You are to believe only that which will make you feel better and me feel better, and both of us enjoy a lovely evening together. That, to me, would be a simple solution.
So?
Dinner?
Well...
Please.
You are a very convincing man.
The current issue of TV Radio Mirror has a feature story on the man who portrays Paladin every Sunday night on CBS Radio, Mr. John Dehner. Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Albert Alley and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Vic Perrin, Eleanor Tannen, and Joseph Kearns. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
If the girl that's being held prisoner has been harmed in any way, you two men can toss coins to see which one I gunned down first.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Oh, Mr. Paladin.
Yes, Mr. Laird?
In regard to that matter we were discussing this morning, well, I've given it a little thought and,
Mr. Paladin.
Excuse me, Mr. Laird. Over here, hey, boy.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, a telegraph message come just now for you. Here.
Thank you.
As I was saying, Paladin, I've given the thing some thought, and, well, I must admit you drive a hard bargain.
Hey, boy, I want you to help me with my things. I'll be leaving.
Paladin, I'm prepared to meet your terms. $3,000.
I'm sorry. I've just received a better offer.
A better offer? How much?
Not a cent, Mr. Laird. This offer has nothing to do with money.
Dandruff bothers most men, most women too, so listen. Today you can get rid of embarrassing dandruff in just 3 minutes. Yes, with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. Unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. That's not all. Using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And never forget, gentle Fitch can also leave your hair up to 35% brighter. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
The telegram read, "Need you urgently. Barton Ranch, 3 Rivers, California." That's all. But that was enough because it was signed Phyllis Thackery. 3 Rivers wasn't far, a hard day's ride. And as I rode through the spring morning, I thought about Dr. Phyllis Thackery. Our trails had crossed just once, briefly, but I'd never forgotten her. A courageous doctor and a very special kind of a woman. It was near sundown when I rode up to the Barton Ranch house.
Yes?
My name is Paladin.
Oh, yes, come in. I'm Tom Barton. Dr. Thackeray asked me to send you the telegraph message.
Where is she?
We don't need you here, mister. Go on back to San Francisco.
Who are you?
This is my father. He owns this ranch.
I'm here to see the doctor. Where is she?
That telegram was a mistake. My son and I can handle things here.
I want to see Dr. Thackeray, and I want to see her now.
Now, wait a minute.
I'll give you just that, mister. 1 minute to show me that girl.
You walk into my house and get rough with me, and I'll have
Now,
you...
Pa, there's no reason for any fuss. Mr. Paladin just wants to see the doctor.
That's your way, isn't it, Tom? Back away from anything tougher than a steak. Fall over and play dead when the man tells you to.
That's not true, Pa. I just don't believe in fighting when there's no fight called for.
Nor at any other time.
Where is the doctor?
There, in the study.
Who is it?
Paladin.
Paladin. Just a moment.
Come in. Shut the door and bolt it. Paladin, my patient here is very sick, and it's contagious.
Are you all right?
I was vaccinated 2 years ago back east, but anyone can carry the germ. It's smallpox.
I see.
I should have said something in the telegram.
You afraid I wouldn't come?
Would you have?
I didn't have anything important to do.
Paladin.
And I've been vaccinated, too. Hello, Phyllis.
Hello, Paladin.
How long have you been here by yourself?
I guess I've lost count.
Any sleep?
Well,
You need rest. Sit down on that cot. Is that coffee hot?
Yes.
You take a half teaspoon of sugar, don't you?
You remember.
Lots of things. Here.
Thank you.
Why did you send for me?
To help me do my duty as a doctor. At the point of your gun, if necessary.
Uh-huh.
It's serious, Paladin. The man on the cot over there, Nate, was the chuck wagon cook on the roundup. They sent him back to the ranch when he got too sick to work. He could have infected every man in the outfit. I have to see that each one of them is vaccinated.
Well?
There's a supply of vaccine at Fort Landis, and I've sent them a telegraph message. But it'll be 3 days before it gets here. The men will be back in the morning.
3 days. Well, can't they wait?
Those men have worked 6 months without a break. They have 6 months' pay coming. They'll be so anxious to get paid off and get into Stockton, they won't wait for anything.
Well, when you explain about the smallpox...
Well, that's the trouble. We have to keep that a secret. They'd run like rabbits if they knew.
You want me to keep them here?
Yes. Paladin, you'll have to.
All right, I'll do what I can. And Dr. Thackery, you'll have to get some sleep.
Oh, no,
Come on. Lie down there. I'll cover you with this blanket.
But Nate...
I'll watch Nate. If there's any change, I'll call you. Now, come on. Settle down. Get some rest. I'll take over.
Be careful, you're going to land in the bathtub.
Who's driving this flying saucer, you or me?
Well, what do you see?
Oh, germs. Millions and millions of germs.
Sure, here on Earth, disease, germs, and viruses live in bathrooms.
Wait, here comes a lady. She's putting a dash of Lysol in with those suds, and she's mopping the floor. Wow! Look at those germs and viruses drop dead.
Boy, are you stupid. I thought all Martians knew that Lysol brand disinfectant kills disease, germs, and many deadly viruses on contact. Disinfects from one cleaning to the next as nothing else can.
That's right. I remember my 7 grandmothers saying Lysol makes your favorite cleaner work better, including many that claim to sanitize.
I'm sorry you learned to speak English by listening to commercials.
And Lysol comes in regular or pine fragrance for as little as 29 cents.
How much is that in Martian money?
Paladin, how's Nate?
He's no better. Dr. Thackery thought you should know.
I should have got Nate off this place when he first come back.
I understand the men who were with him on the roundup will be back in the morning.
That's right.
And if he dies, there'll be no way of concealing the cause of death. There'll be a stampede from this ranch in all directions.
Let him go.
We can't. Every man allowed to leave this spread without a vaccination could be carrying death to who knows how many people.
Had some men, they're back early.
We're not going to be able to handle them, Pa.
Well, I'm going to try. You're back early, Fred.
Boys in a hurry to get paid off, Mr. Barton.
We're leaving come early morning.
Fred, why don't you come on in the house? Gotta have a little talk before you go anyway.
Sure thing. I'll be back right after I get things put straight. You just get our pay ready meanwhile.
Come on, fellas.
Yeah, mister, you ain't gonna be able to handle those men.
Look, they work for you. Which of you is going to give the orders to keep them here?
I didn't ask for this fuss.
Tom?
Well, Fred Cooley's the range boss. It'd be a waste of breath talking to him. He'll do what he wants.
No, he won't. He'll do what he's made to do. What you tell him to do, Tom.
But Fred won't listen to me.
Tom, you went against my orders, getting that female doctor in here, keeping Nate on the place. You started this. Now let's see you try to finish it.
Now, wait a minute, Pa.
This will be your ranch one day, son. You ought to be running it now.
He's right, Tom. Sooner or later, whoever is foreman will have to start taking orders from you. Nobody's going to stand by you with a gun for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'll try.
I hope he does it. He wasn't such a weakling.
Tom will be all right.
He's got no gumption. You gotta fight, Paladin. Talk's no good.
Barton, I've let my gun speak for me too many times. Believe me, words are better.
We'll see.
Hours passed, and Phyllis slept fitfully while I sat watching the sick man. The false dawn was just beginning to break when I heard the men coming up from the bunkhouse. I walked out into the front room. Barton sat in a chair by the dying fire.
They're coming.
Yeah, it's after 5 o'clock.
Let's go meet him.
Well, boys, Mr. Barton, what about this here talk of Tom's?
I think you ought to apologize.
Steve Pauly here thinks Tom was serious about our not getting paid off this morning.
I ought to apologize.
Steve, just simmer down. Now, I said Tom was funning with us. Who was right, Mr. Barton, me or Steve?
Where's Tom?
What about our money, Mr. Barton?
We want it now, don't we, boys?
We sure do. And that's how it'll be. There's a strong box in your study, Mr. Barton. You get our money out and ready now. We're riding out, sunup.
Cooley, you're talking to me now, not my son.
I know who I'm talking to.
Now, wait a minute.
I ain't waiting, not at all. Either you open that safe or we break it open right now.
You step up onto this porch, I'll put a bullet in you. Well?
You can't shoot us all, Mr. Barton. And that money is due.
He said you're not going in there.
What's your business here, mister?
I'm just helping a friend.
All right. Sunup's in an hour. Gonna take me that hour to gather my gear together. Then I'm coming right back here for my pay and riding out. Don't try to stop me.
It's up to you.
You know something, mister? You're right. It is up to us.
Now, hold on.
I ain't gonna hold on for nobody. I don't figure to wait until sunup.
Don't be a fool. He's not hurt bad. A couple of you men get him back to the bunkhouse and take care of that arm.
We'll do just that, mister. And then we'll be back.
Phyllis?
Paladin, come in. I heard shots.
That's all right. How's your patient?
His pulse is steadier. Fever's no better, though. If he can only make it until daylight, he'll have a chance.
More quinine?
Not for a while.
Is there anything I can do for you, then?
Yes. Talk to me. Keep me awake.
Talk to you? That's not so easy anymore.
You've never had any trouble finding words.
Well, the words are easy enough. The words that don't count. And now, with you, it's different.
Is it, Paladin?
It's because we're the kind of people we are.
What kind of people are we, Paladin?
We're neither of us ready for marriage. You have to go on with your work because it's important to you and to the people who need you.
And you have to go on with your work because you're you.
Yes.
Paladin, I'm confused. Have you been proposing?
No. No, I've been explaining why I haven't proposed.
Oh. Well, it's flattering. I know there aren't many women to whom you feel it necessary to explain why you're not proposing.
This is the first time.
I believe it's time now for Nate's quinine.
Can I help?
No, I think... Paladin. He's better. His fever's dropped. I think he's going to live.
You've done your job well, Doctor. I hope I meet with as much success with mine.
Hear that? It's been a long night. Paladin. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm glad, I guess.
Hmm?
That we're the kind of people we are.
Oh. Of course. For now. Well, you've got work to do. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
Out front. I've got a little job to do at sunup.
Like to listen while you work? Then here's a reminder that each Monday through Friday over most of these CBS radio stations, you'll find a wealth of dramatic serials that are designed to keep you the best of company. We don't guarantee that they'll turn your housework into play, but they will help to speed it along. So you plan to listen. Take The Couple Next Door, for instance. Family comedy at its hilarious, warm-hearted best. You can be sure of one chuckle after another as you listen to the Daffy Diary of Mr. and Mrs. Piper and their small brood. The Pipers are prone to a peck of pretty pickles, which means for you, a peck of smiles. You'll enjoy hearing such long-time favorites as The Couple Next Door, The Romance of Helen Trent, Right to Happiness, Ma Perkins, The Second Mrs. Burton, Young Dr. Malone, and Whispering Streets. Each Monday through Friday, make it a point to keep your dial set for CBS Radio and first-rate daytime dramatic entertainment.
It's almost sunrise, Barton.
Fred Cooley will be here. I know him.
I'll be waiting.
It's not for you to do. I don't like this letting another man do my work or my son's work.
Where is Tom?
He's still out somewhere. I guess he just don't have what it takes. I'll have to handle this myself.
I'll be back. Tom? Tom?
Over here, Paladin.
Saddling your horse. What's the idea?
I guess you might say I'm figuring to run out.
Oh?
Paul's right. I can't face up to a fight. I tried to talk to the men. I did the best I could.
I know you did. And what's more, you probably did as well as anyone could.
But I failed.
Tom, there's a rifle hanging on the wall in your house there. It's a symbol of an unfortunate truth. Sometimes talk has to be backed up with action.
Paul don't think too much of me.
He thinks you're a weakling, and he'll be sure of it if you run away. Your father's trying to give you a chance to prove yourself. This is going to be your ranch, Tom. Don't quit it.
Paladin, Tom.
Yeah, Pa?
Dr. Thackery, she's hurt.
Come on. Where is she?
Over there. Tell you, he was half out of his mind. Come in the back door.
Phyllis. Phyllis. Who did this?
That study door was open. He seen Nate in there, and when he found out about the smallpox,
He just went plumb loco. When I tried to stop him, he hit me with his 6-gun.
Who was it?
Dr. Thackery. She tried to reason with him, but he was crazy scared. He hit her, knocked her down.
Who did?
Cooley. It was Fred Cooley.
Where is he?
Started on down to the bunkhouse. Said he was getting out of here.
Paladin, wait!
Cooley!
Go away, Paladin. I'm leaving this place fast.
Not now.
I'll beat you right down and run.
Are you?
Paladin! No. Paladin, you're killing him! Paladin! That's enough, Paladin. I'm telling you. And this rifle's going to back up my words. It's one thing to shoot a man, another to beat him to death. I'll put a bullet in you if I have to. I'll handle this.
All right. Yeah. All right, Tom. It seems like you've kind of taken over the running of things, doesn't it? 3 days later, the courier from Fort Landis arrived with the vaccine. With this newfound authority, Tom had no trouble keeping the men in line. The iron hand in the velvet glove. On a rifle butt.
Are the men ready, Paladin?
As soon as you are, Doctor, they're lined up outside.
The sleeves rolled up?
Mm-hmm. They don't quite know what to expect, but Tom's holding them there with a rifle. You know, you're quite a doctor.
When I became a doctor, I took an oath, which in part says, I will prescribe for the good of my patients according to my ability and my judgment. Draw your gun, Paladin, and bring 'em in.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, so happy to see you back.
Stay there, hey boy. Keep your distance.
What?
Keep your distance.
Something the matter, Mr. Paladin?
Faulty memory, that's all. If anyone asks for me, I'll be back in half an hour.
Oh, yes, Mr. Paladin. But where are you going?
I have an appointment to get a vaccination.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Stanley Silverman and Sam Rolfe and adapted for radio by Ann Dowd. Featured in the cast were Gene Bates, Sam Edwards, Harry Bartell, Lou Krugman, and Lawrence Dopkin. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
If you men want me to leave, you'll have to make me. Now, who's going to be the first to try?
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel. Headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Hey, boy.
Oh, yes, Mr. Paladin.
Help me with these bags, will you?
Oh, yes, Mr. Paladin. You go away again so soon?
It seems Mr. Edgar Potts in Tucson needs my services.
Oh, yes, sir.
I know Mr. Potts. He is not a good man, but he's a rich one.
Oh, you'll make lots of money, eh, Mr. Paladin?
Well, that's my plan. Look, hey, boy, this came up very suddenly. I've had to cancel my engagements for this week. Will you see that these notes are delivered?
Oh, yes, sir. Let me see. Missy Dilly Clark, Kitty O'Connor, Adelaide Smith, Jesse Donahue, Francesca Valise, Mabel Hart, and Major John B. Culpepper.
Thursdays, I play chess.
Even if you've had embarrassing dandruff for years, you can get rid of it now in 3 minutes. That's all it takes with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. Yes, unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes with Fitch. Quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. What's more, using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Just apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes, with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. At the same time, gentle Fitch can leave your hair up to 35% brighter. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too. Use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
Glass of rye, bartender.
Yes, sir. There you are. Come in on the stage.
Oh.
Figure to stay a while in Brotherton?
No, as soon as they get that axle fixed, I'm going on to Tucson.
Where you from?
San Francisco.
Great little town, Frisco.
Yeah. Noisy in Brotherton. What's going on?
Well, now, wait till I get around there. We'll just go have a look-see.
We warned you, Indian. We told you it was going to happen.
Now, you listen to me. You get rid of every head of that disease stock on your place, Injun. Or we'll do more than keep you within your boundaries. We'll burn you out. House, hide, and hair.
I guess it ain't nothing. Might as well go back and finish your drink.
He shot that Indian's horse.
Now, you take that carcass away and burn it. It's sickness enough without you savages bringing in more. Come on, Petey.
Who are those men?
The one on the big roan's McNally. The other's Peavy, his foreman.
And the Indian?
Joe Whitehorse. He's got a little ranch, borders on McNally's spread.
I see.
He's an educated Indian. They're the worst kind.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Why did he kill his horse? Rough him up like that?
I don't know. It ain't my problem, mister.
Where's the livery stable?
North end of town.
White horse?
Yes?
My name is Paladin. This is my card.
Have gun, will travel. I see. Thank you, Mr. Paladin.
Not interested?
If I had money to hire you, I wouldn't be hiking 20 miles carrying this saddle. I would have another horse.
I happen to be going your way. Why don't you put your saddle over this other horse of mine? No obligation.
It is right to tell you, even if I had money, I would not hire you. I don't hold with men who follow the gun.
I agree, Mr. Whitehorse. It's not a practical business, but 20 miles is a long walk.
And this is a heavy saddle. I accept your kind offer, Mr. Paladin. $150 prime, healthy cows. Now 10 are dead. The rest ready to fall. They keep losing weight, dying.
Has a veterinary looked at them?
I can't get him to come out and look. I am a mission Indian, educated Indian. I have few friends among my own people and fewer among yours.
Yes, I saw an example of that back there in Brotherton.
They don't want me in that town. I can't trade in the stores. I buy supplies through the man who runs the pharmacy. The only one who will admit that we are human. Wait, rein up, Mr. Paladin. There ahead. My land.
Looks like land a man would fight for.
I paid for that land. I'm willing to fight. I don't know how. My father wore feathers in his hair. Lived in a teepee. He was at war with the white man, fighting for his way of life. When he saw he could never win, it broke his spirit, but it made him wiser. He sent me to the mission school. Learned to live and think like a white man. He said that was the only way we could have a home in our land.
3 riders. You know who it is?
Wait. Yeah, Peavy and 2 of his hands. The one who killed my horse.
Yeah.
So you got yourself another horse?
The one you shot cost me $40. You have to pay me for that.
You friends with him or just passing through?
You ask that like a man hoping for the wrong answer.
You working for an Indian?
He hasn't hired me yet.
You're half a mile from his boundary line. You aim to keep going?
I thought I might.
It ain't that simple, mister. You can ride in on that horse, but you try to ride out and he'll go down with a slug in his head. No animal comes off on that ranch. Yours or nobody's.
Mr. Paladin, he means what he says. You saw that in town. You're going to lose 2 good horses. I'll walk the rest of the way.
You'll ride. You've used my horse for 15 miles, and I expect the man who's done that to rub him down and ask me to sit at table.
You will be most welcome.
All right, then. Ride on in. But you'll be sorry.
I was a teenage germ. That's right, I was a teenage germ, living in a lovely scratch on the tile bathroom floor. I came in on a saddle chew, and then I moved to the floor. There were millions of us germs, playing rock around the sink or hide and infect. My hostess was a wonderful woman. Every week she'd splash all around us with nice warm soap and water. But then some rat squealed to her about Lysol, and we had to beat it. Lysol kills germs. It was murder.
Yes, if you're a germ, you'll hate Lysol, because Lysol kills disease germs, many deadly viruses, too. Lysol also destroys bathroom odors. Cleaning every week with Lysol in the suds disinfects your bathroom from one cleaning to the next as nothing else can. A little Lysol brand disinfectant in the suds makes your favorite cleaners work better, including many that claim to sanitize. Lysol is now available in regular or pine fragrance, as little as 29 cents.
We're looking for a new bathroom to live in. How about yours?
More coffee?
Oh, yes. Please, Mrs. Whitehorse.
So, you are a gunfighter, Mr. Paladin.
Well, Mrs. Whitehorse, I have a certain talent with weapons. When people in trouble need such a talent, I hire it out to them.
I see. Is a gunfighter expensive, Mr. Paladin?
I have expensive tastes.
Joseph, I like my home. I want to stay here. I think all we need right now is time.
Every day more stock dying. Quarantine around me, that means I must sneak off my own land
But
like
with time, Joseph, we can find out what is sickening our cattle. We can build a healthy herd. Joseph, if Mr. Paladin can scare them into leaving us alone...
I will not have that kind of thing, Martha.
But we must do something. Mr. Paladin, we do not have any money to pay you, but this is rich land. We will give you a part of it, if you will fight for your part, and for ours.
I'll talk with these men. In the meantime, thanks for your hospitality.
It was our pleasure.
I'll walk out with you. Take care, Mr. Paladin. McNally is a violent man.
You told Peavy he'd have to pay you for that horse he shot. I don't mind taking over the debt. I'll trade you the horse you came home on.
That's a good horse. You cheat yourself.
Well, maybe I'll get Peavy to throw in something else of value.
Mr. Paladin. Well, perhaps you won't understand. Men differ.
What do you mean?
When I walk out of my house onto my own land, it gives me a good feeling. I love this place. It has given me pain, but there is something. This is mine. This handful of earth here. This is mine.
Certainly. It's just like a... Wait.
Hmm?
Your handful of earth there. Where? Here. Put it in this handkerchief.
Well,
Here, in the handkerchief.
Hmm.
Good.
I don't understand. Strange man, Mr. Paladin.
That's right, and I've just had a strange notion. I'll see you again, Mr. Whitehorse. At the boundary of the White Horse Ranch, I dismounted to close the fence gate. The first rifle shot came high to my right. The second shot killed my horse. Both of them had come from somewhere in the brush behind me. I had an idea who had fired them, and I had the score to settle with them.
Sure looks like you're afoot, don't it?
You did that shooting?
It's his Indian boundary.
That's a bad habit you have, PV, killing horses.
I warned you.
I remember. Now I'll use your horse to take me into town.
You lay a finger on that bridle, you Injun. Look!
You can tell McNally what happened. He'll find me in town. Is this the only pharmacy in town?
Oh, yes. My name's Reinhardt. What can I do for you?
You know the White Horses?
Oh, you mean our thieving, scalping, overeducated local Indian? I do. Oh, and before you say your piece, let me inform you that this is the only store in town that'll do business with them. And proud to say it. Now, what's on your mind?
Are you set up to make a chemical analysis, Mr. Reinhardt?
Chemical analysis? Son, I've got the most complete laboratory south of San Francisco, back there just gathering dust. Where's there a place for science in a town where they bury a chicken head by the light of the moon to get rid of warts? Let me tell you something, mister. McNally, he tells the citizens how to think. And speaking of the devil...
McNally? He's probably looking for me.
Oh, what for?
Here, take this.
What in tarnation do you want me to do with a clod of dirt?
Now, we're only supposing, Mr. Reinhardt. Run a test on this, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, but it don't make any sense.
Gentlemen.
You pistol-whipped my foreman, steal his horse?
I disciplined your foreman, Mr. McNally. As to the horse, Peavy owed Joe Whitehorse for the one he shot. I took over the debt and settled it.
You working for Whitehorse? Kind of men are we breeding that takes wages from an Indian?
I couldn't get $1 out of him. He doesn't have one. That's why I'm here.
Well, if you're not with the Indian, what's on your mind?
I want to be hired.
We're doing all right.
You're wasting your time trying to starve Whitehorse out.
You don't have to starve. I offered to buy his place.
At a profit?
I offered him $10,000.
Why are you so anxious to own his land?
His land's good, and there's water, and I don't aim to raise my children next to some savage. Besides, he's aiming to let that cattle sickness spread over the whole range, wipe us all out on account of he hates us so.
Perhaps I can persuade him to sell.
How?
His willingness will increase in ratio to the size of my fee. How willing do you want him to be?
All right, you're hired. Get on out to his place.
First, you go to the bank and draw some money. I think Whitehorse would want to be paid off in cash.
That's a lot to trust you with.
Well, then you carry it. And carry an additional $2,000, Mr. McNally. My fee.
$2,000? How much money you think I have?
How much do you hate Indians? I have some business in the pharmacy here. Then I'll see you at the White Horse Ranch.
There's a big change going on, an important one for car buyers. It's the countrywide change to Rambler. Passing car after car in sales, Rambler now leads all but 2 other makes in state after state. What does it all mean? That Rambler has what people want and cannot get in other cars. Rambler is the quality compact car. For instance, Rambler has plenty of hat room, shoulder room, and leg room for 6 big people. Yet Rambler is so trim on the outside, it handles and parks with the greatest ease. For first cost, gas economy, and resale value, Rambler is America's top economy car. Yet only Rambler offers the fine features of personalized comfort. There are front seats that glide back and forward separately to perfectly fit short legs or long, adjustable headrests, airliner reclining seats, twin travel beds, finest air conditioning at lowest cost. Throughout, Rambler engineering is more advanced, Rambler workmanship more careful. Come in and drive the quality compact car Rambler. See your Rambler dealer.
He's waiting outside there, Mr. Whitehorse. You've already overtaxed his patience.
You didn't understand me, Mr. Paladin. I won't sell.
You can do a lot with that cash.
I won't be pushed off my land. I stay here.
I told McNally you'd sell.
Then you tell him you were mistaken.
And lose my fee.
Why do you ask my husband to do this thing?
Because it's my considered opinion he should sell to McNally.
And if it is not my opinion, if I say I stand up to that gun of yours?
I think that would make everything very uncomfortable.
We ask only to live in peace, to have a home to build for ourselves and for those who come after, and you are no better than the others.
Martha should not have done that, no matter what. Forgive her, Mr. Paladin. Martha carries our first child. She is upset.
What kind of a world have we to offer our child? Sign it, Joseph. Sign the paper. Here is ink, a pen. Give them their bill of sale. We will find some place to live in peace.
Yeah. You have earned your money.
I'll tell McNally he can come in and take possession.
Mr. Paladin, one day you will meet a gun faster than yours.
That's probably true, Mrs. Whitehorse. All right, McNally.
All set, huh?
All set.
Yeah, I got no respect for critters. Knows he ain't wanted, but hangs on anyway. In the old days, he'd be long gone by now.
You've made your point, Mr. McNally.
Here is your bill of sale, McNally. It is your ranch now.
And you got the money? That does it.
Not quite. Let's not forget $2,000.
Oh, sure. See me in town.
I see you now, McNally.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Whitehorse, learn something from this business. You Indians have reservations all over the country. That's where you belong.
Mr. McNally is a man of deep prejudices.
And not soft about them, neither.
Ooh, anything but soft. If it hadn't been for your sickly stock, he'd have found another reason to starve you out.
He did not starve us out. It was your gun that drove us off our land.
My gun did you a favor, Mrs. Whitehorse. This land is useless. It's poisoned. Don't try to pasture cows here, McNally. They'll die.
I'll get rid of that disease. I'll burn everything down to the dirt.
But you can't burn the dirt, and that's where the poison is.
You're crazy.
I had the soil analyzed. It contains a certain element that affects all vegetation. It's called molybdenum, if you want to investigate it.
On my land?
McNally's land. I remembered that I'd seen this cattle sickness once before down on the San Joaquin Range.
So you knew this?
Suspected it. Mr. Reinhardt verified it.
If this is true.
It's true.
Then I cannot keep this money.
Oh, yes, you can.
You dirty lying cheat.
Good day, Mr. McNally.
Indian lover.
Mr. Paladin.
I'm sorry I had to do it this way, but it's difficult to conspire with an honest man. Mrs. Whitehorse, I want to leave this fee from Mr. McNally as a gift for your child who is yet to be born.
That is a great deal of money, Mr. Paladin. I cannot take it.
Oh, please accept it. For your child, with my apologies for this imperfect world we have to offer him, and my hopes for a better one in his lifetime.
Thank you, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, welcome.
Hello, hey boy.
Did you serve the most unworthy but very rich Mr. Potts?
No, I was delayed, and when I got to Tucson, Mr. Potts was dead. His wife shot him.
Oh, then you don't make lots of money. Your whole trip wasted, eh? Too bad.
Not at all, hey boy. On the contrary, I found it quite rewarding.
Oh, you have someone wait for you upstairs in room.
Oh, well now.
Yes, Major John B. Culpepper. It's Thursday, remember?
Have gun, will travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell, and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Herb Meadow and adapted for radio by Ann Dowd. Featured in the cast were Lawrence Dopkin, Harry Bartell, Lillian Byatt, Joseph Kearns, Edgar Barrier, and Barney Phillips. Hugh Douglas speaking.
An immigrant worker is crushed beneath thousands of pounds of railroad ties. You call it an accident. I say it was murder.
Have gun, will travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, glad to have you back.
Thank you. My key, please.
Of course. It's been quite a while since we've seen you, about 3 weeks, I dare say.
About that. And my mail, please.
Of course. I don't believe I remember you being away for this long at any one time. Here you are, sir. It must have been quite an extensive trip.
Yes, it was. Would you have Hayboy bring my bags up?
Oh, Hayboy is no longer with us, but I'll see...
Hayboy is no longer here.
That's right. His employment terminated, a week ago today, as a matter of fact.
Terminated? Why?
I don't know, sir.
Did he get another job somewhere?
I don't really know.
Well, he must have given an excuse for leaving.
The Carlton automatically gave him a release when he didn't show up for 3 consecutive days.
Did it ever occur to the Carlton that he might be ill?
Well, after all, it isn't our responsibility.
Has anyone seen him?
Really, Mr. Paladin, it isn't that important. These people are very easily replaced. I assure you the Carlton will continue to give you the same excellent service that we've always...
I've just had an example of your excellent service.
Even if you've had embarrassing dandruff for years, you can get rid of it now in 3 minutes. That's all it takes with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. Yes, unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes with Fitch. Quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. What's more, using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Just apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. all that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes, with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. At the same time, gentle Fitch can leave your hair up to 35% brighter. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
Hey Boy didn't leave a message for me with anyone at the hotel. And it was unlikely that he would quit his job without an explanation, unless something was wrong. I didn't know where Hey Boy lived, but I remembered that he had an uncle who ran a curio shop I had patronized in the past. San Francisco was heavy with fog when I arrived in Chinatown for a visit with Mr. Chung, the owner of Mandarin Galleries.
Welcome to the Mandarin.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chung.
Mr. Paladin, I did not recognize you at first. I trust each dawn has brought you a day of success?
And each dusk, a night of contentment.
Your visit is most fortuitous. Only yesterday, I received several new pieces from Canton. I am sure they will be of great interest to you.
Oh, beautiful workmanship. The case is teakwood, isn't it?
Yes, and the chessmen are of ivory.
Oh, exquisite. Exquisite. But right now, Mr. Chung, I'm afraid all I want is some information.
I hope I may be of service.
I'm looking for Hey Boy, Kim Chang.
I have not seen my nephew, Kim Chang, for several days.
Mr. Chung, Hey Boy is a friend of mine. Is he in any kind of trouble?
He spoke to you, perhaps, of his brother, Kim Sung?
Yes, he did mention that his brother was coming to the United States.
His passage and entry permit was arranged by a railroad company.
And I suppose Kim Sung signed a contract to repay the railroad by working for them on a construction crew.
Many of our people have come here this way.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Paladin, I have in my pocket 2 letters. Kim Chang, whom you call Hey Boy, left them with me for safekeeping. The first one is from his brother. If you would like, I will translate it for you.
Yeah, please.
The first part is of no importance. But this: the head man, Travis, cheats us of our wages, gives us less food than is our right. Because we are Chinese, he thinks we will do nothing. Last night, when I spoke to him in protest, I was beaten. I am afraid now to stay here. I am afraid Travis will kill me as a lesson to the others. Please, my brother, you must help me. That is all.
May I see the letter?
It is in Chinese.
No, I just want to see the postmark. Coldwater, Utah. Is this where Hey Boy's gone?
He left 10 days ago when he received this other letter from the railroad company. You may read it for yourself. Under the circumstances, Mr. Paladin, I am surprised the letter would include regrets.
Signed Maury Travis, Section Superintendent. He doesn't explain the accident or even tell where Kim Sung is buried. Why did Hey Boy go to Coldwater alone, Mr. Chung?
When it is hurt, even the most gentle kitten will have the fury of a tiger.
But still only the strength of a kitten. May I keep these letters for a while?
There is something you can do to help him, Mr. Paladin?
I can try to keep Hey Boy alive, Mr. Chung. 4 days' ride from San Francisco brought me to a tiny settlement on a huge plateau, shadowed by a crouching mountain peak. The railroad superintendent's office, Coldwater Division, was a small frame shack with a porch some 3 steps above a dirt road.
Looking for somebody?
Mr. Travis.
You found him. Come on in. Getting chilly, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
Always does this time of the afternoon. What can I do for you?
My card.
have gun, will travel wire Paladin, San Francisco. What's all that mean? I don't understand.
You're a target, Mr. Travis.
Oh?
Someone intends to kill you. I'm offering my services as a bodyguard.
Why would anyone want to kill me?
We all have enemies, some we're not aware of. I'm sure you're no exception.
Well?
You remember a Chinese boy by the name of Kim Sung who was killed in an accident here not long ago?
Yeah, I remember.
I have a letter here that claims it was not an accident.
Well, let me see that. This could be a Chinese laundry ticket for all I know.
I assure you it is not. I'll take that back if you don't mind.
Oh, sure.
Now, this letter was sent to the dead man's brother and claims that it was not an accident. Now the brother wants revenge.
His brother, Kim Chang, a little fella?
That's right.
Well, I got news for you, Paladin. I don't need to hire a gun to protect me against a coolie. I've already met up with that little China boy, and I'm still alive and kicking.
And the China boy?
He's in jail. The crazy fool came at me with a knife. If the sheriff hadn't stuck his nose in, he'd be in his grave.
I'm sorry I bothered you, Mr. Travis.
Doctor, will you psychoanalyze me?
Well, what seems to be the problem?
I'm a germ, a bathroom germ, and they're the most unwanted kind, you know. Spread disease and cause bathroom odors.
Go on.
Well, my mother and father abandoned me at a very early age.
Oh?
Yes, you see, even germs hate germs. Everybody hates germs. Look at all the women who put Lysol in their suds every week when they clean their bathrooms.
I know.
They know Lysol is murder for bathroom germs. Disinfects from one cleaning to the next as nothing else can.
Uh-huh.
And my landlady just got some new pine-scented Lysol. So you see, Doctor, I'm getting a very bad inferiority complex. A doctor, where are you going?
To see a psychiatrist.
But why?
Who ever heard of a germ talking?
Use Lysol brand disinfectant, the modern, easy way to get bathrooms really clean every week. Regular or the new pine scented for as little as 29 cents.
After convincing the sheriff that I was a friend of his only prisoner, he led me back to a cell where Hayboy was lying on a mattress on the floor, apparently asleep. The sheriff said he was weak because he refused to eat, and that he had gotten the bruises on his face and arms in the fight with Travis. At my request, he left me alone with Hayboy.
All right, Paladin, but I'll have to lock you in.
All right.
There.
Hayboy. Where are my cigars?
Huh?
My newspapers.
Oh, Mr. Paladin.
Hello, Hayboy.
Mr. Paladin, it is much surprise to see you here.
Yeah, they're a long way from San Francisco.
Oh, yes, many miles of sorrow.
I know. Mr. Chung told me about your brother.
We were to be together again after all these years. Now my brother is dead and the man who killed him lives and goes unpunished. This is not right.
Keep your voice down. We don't know who can hear us.
Yes, sir.
Now, Hayboy, are you sure that it was not an accident?
Oh, yes, sir, I'm sure. Travis struck my brother with a club, and then he made it appear an accident. He threw a load of timbers off a flat car onto his body, and two of the men who worked with Kim Sung saw it happen.
Why didn't they tell the sheriff? With two witnesses, Travis could be brought to trial.
Oh, who would take the word of Chinese against a white? Somehow, his punishment will come at my hands.
No, it won't work. Even if he doesn't kill you, if you should kill him, you'd be arrested for murder.
Why, either way, it's something I must do. Mr. Paladin, you come to take me out of jail?
I'm afraid I can't do that until we clear the charges against you. Hey, boy, tell me the names of the two men who witnessed your brother's murder.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I took oath to never repeat their names. It is for their protection. Please understand I cannot break my pledge, not even to you.
Yeah, I understand, hey, boy.
But I will tell you, they work in a crew under a man named Brady.
Yeah, I saw Brady this afternoon.
Oh, yes, he a mean, very strong. He like a bull. He helped Travis throw the railroad ties on my brother's body.
Hey, boy. I'm going to tell the sheriff to fix you some supper, and you eat it.
Oh, he saw me, Sir Paladin. I eat it.
Good. I'll be back to see you in the morning. Brady's labor crew was huddled on the ground around a battered kettle that bubbled over a small fire, eating a watery stew out of tin plates. They hardly looked up as I approached. One of you speak English? Somebody must understand. Well, I'm sure you all remember Kim Sung. Now, 2 of you saw what really happened to him. 2 of you know his death was not an accident. 2 of you can put Maury Travis in jail. Well? Is this the stuff you eat? Seems you like slop. It seems you don't mind living in filth like slaves. You'll watch one of your brothers die and then lick the boots of the man who killed him.
No.
So. Someone does understand.
All right, you little monkeys. On your feet. Time to...
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Talking to some of my friends.
Your friends. Clear out.
Not until I'm ready.
I said get out of here.
Put that axe down. I'll go when I'm ready.
Now I said...
You're good with that axe, but not good enough.
I don't know who you are, but I'm going to tear your head off.
Now, if any of you men have anything to say, speak up now. I want to help you. Which of you spoke up before Brady came in? All right. If you change your mind, I'll be with Travis.
Why is it that they can't stay married in Hollywood? Now, for the first time, March McCall's charts 25 years of the movie capital's mixed-up marriages, reports the reasons that more than 200 Hollywood stars give for their own divorces. It's more fantastic than any movie fiction. Don't miss the feature entitled The Disgrace of Hollywood in March McCall's. Also, you'll find lots of interesting, helpful ideas for you and your family in this big new issue of McCall's. Learn how you can earn an extra $1,000 this year by just a few hours' work each week. Also, discover how you can get your husband to talk frankly about the most intimate and important problems in your married life. Read, My Husband Won't Talk About Sex, Money, or the Children in the new March issue of McCall's. It's on all newsstands now, and it's loaded with exciting features, more than 40 in all. Get your March issue of McCall's today.
Two of the immigrants could step forward and free Hayboy, but they were afraid. Afraid of the foreman Brady and his boss Maury Travis. Men died quickly and quietly on the Coldwater Railroad Division. I went to Travis's office, but he wasn't there. I decided to wait. After 3 hands of solitaire, he returned.
What are you doing in my office, Paladin?
Playing solitaire.
I want to know what you're doing here. First you tell me somebody's trying to kill me, then you get one of my crews all riled up, and now you beat up my foreman. Let's have it straight. What do you want?
I told you this afternoon. Job. But since you've decided to wear a gun, you seem to be fully prepared to take care of yourself. I assume my services are unnecessary.
Your services include nosing around in what doesn't concern you?
Hey, Travis. I told you your men could have the freedom of the town as long as they didn't start any trouble.
What What are you talking about, Sheriff?
That Chinese work gang of yours. They just broke into jail. Took your friend out with them, Paladin.
Why'd you stop them?
45 men with crowbars and pickaxes?
Where'd they go?
They're heading straight for this office.
You suppose they're looking for someone in particular, Travis?
Sheriff, I want protection.
If you think I'm going to try facing down a bunch of Chinese armed with picks, you're crazy.
All right, then me and my men will stop them.
Most of your boys are at the saloon in town.
I know that. I was with them till I heard what Paladin did to my foreman. I'll round them up.
How are your men going to stop 45 rebel laborers, Travis?
With shotguns, Paladin. I'll kill every one of... No. Sheriff.
What's the matter, Travis? Is he a ghost out there?
They're standing out in front. All of them. Just staring at me. Just staring, Paladin. You gotta help me. You say they're your friends. Maybe they'll listen to you. Go out there and talk to them. You said you wanted a job. All right, then I'm hiring you.
All right. First, there's a matter of my fee. $500 in advance.
500?
And in hard cash on the line now.
All right. I won't argue with you. The money's in the safe. I'll get it.
That gun comes high, Paladin.
Yes, it does, Sheriff. His hide isn't worth that much, but I'm going to use the money to help heal some scars Travis left on a friend of mine. Looking at it that way, it hardly seems enough.
Here you are. 500 in gold.
Put the bag on the table, Travis.
Yeah.
I'm going out to talk to your friends. Hey, boy. Tell the men to go back to camp.
Please stay out of the way, Mr. Paladin.
You're not taking Travis.
Mr. Paladin, forgive me for what I say to you, but please understand. You are my true friend. We do you no harm, but you must stay out of the way. Travis killed my brother. He cheated these young men. He will be punished.
Not by you. You're in the United States now, hey boy. You live by American law.
American law is for whites, not Chinese.
The law is for everybody. The color of your skin doesn't make you any different. While you're in this country, you'll not only obey the law, you'll get its protection, and you'll get justice.
American justice will not bring back Kim Sung.
Neither will another murder. Believe me, hey boy, if he's guilty, I want Travis punished as much as you do. But I promise you, I'll shoot the first man who lays a hand on him.
Tomai Tongai, Kamen Kinbai, Ma Chong Lan Gai Kim Sung, Ma Chu Ma Fo. Mr. Paladin, this man Sang will tell you who killed my brother. Him, Kim Sung, Travis.
Now, wait a minute.
Enough proof for you, Sheriff?
It is. You tricked me, Paladin.
I wouldn't go for that gun, Travis. I'd hate to cheat the hangman.
Tricked me and took my money.
And gave you excellent service. You hired me to protect you, to save your life, and I have. You'll be perfectly safe. In jail. Come in.
Hey, boy. Oh, Mr. Paladin, I thought you had breakfast in your room this morning.
Oh, wonderful. Come in.
Yes, sir.
It's good to have you back, hey boy.
Oh, I have you to thank. Manager say you would leave hotel if I did not come back to job, so here I am. Same uniform.
What's the package on the tray?
Oh, this package for you.
Oh?
This, you open it now?
Oh, yes.
He's my uncle, Mr. Chung.
Yeah.
Very grateful for all you did. We use the money you give us from Travis to bring my brother back to San Francisco for proper Chinese burial.
Oh, Wyatt. It's the chess set I admired at the Mandarin. Beautiful. Thank you. And my thanks to your uncle, Mr. Chung. How about a game of chess?
Oh, later perhaps, but now I must go sort mail for a new desk clerk.
New desk clerk?
Yes, sir. Someone registered a strong complaint against old one.
Someone did, huh? Well, what do you know about that?
Yes, sir. Very mysterious. Desk clerk go, a new one hired today. Very mysterious.
It's nice to be back.
Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Albert Alley and adapted for radio by Frank Michael. Featured in the cast were Edgar Barrier, Paul Dubov, Lou Krugman, and Joseph Kearns. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
There's something loose on that mountaintop that's bigger than any man I've ever seen. And stronger. Before I leave, I intend to find out what it is.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
You will not change your mind, Mr. Paladin? You still go?
I'm afraid so, hey boy. Oh, by the way, send a dozen long-stemmed roses to Miss Julie Parker. And regrets.
Oh, do not go there, Mr. Paladin. Please.
Why not? Why does this trip bother you so much?
Oh, I read a newspaper. Monster at Moon Ridge. Lady bewitched by apparition. Oh, please, do not go there, Mr. Paladin.
I've already been hired and accepted. I'm leaving right away.
Oh, then, let me. Please?
Well, what have you got in that jar?
Please? Yeah, dragon tooth powder.
Dragon tooth?
It's, one here, and one here. Keep you from harm. Dragon's tooth powder, very powerful protection.
Your new country has a better formula for destroying superstition, hey boy. Equal parts of reason and daylight. But I thank you for the friendship behind the thought.
Oh, then you go. You see Mr. Vito Bella?
That's right, Vito Bella, Bowtown, California.
Even if you've had embarrassing dandruff for years, you can get rid of it now in 3 minutes. That's all it takes with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. Yes, unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes with Fitch, quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. What's more, using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Just apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes, with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. At the same time, gentle Fitch can leave your hair up to 35% brighter. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too. Use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
The Indians have a name for the high mountain lands back of Placerville. They call it Shadow Ground. Indians have a way of seeing things in the shape of a piece of land that no white man can see, so they always bypass it. Like the thunder that boiled up against the peaks and rolled down. But then the Indians had little use for gold and silver, and the white men did. And the white men built their town where a teepee village might have been, close to the top of Moon Ridge. It was after dark, and the sky was heavily overcast when I pulled up in front of the sheriff's office in Bowtown.
Hold it right there.
What? I'm looking for the sheriff.
That's me. Who are you?
My name is Paladin.
Riding in at night with black horse and black trail clothes. I'm surprised you didn't get your head shot off.
Well, do you have to hold that gun on me?
Come on in.
Who's he, Dan?
He's a hobgoblin, ain't you heard?
Oh, you smart.
This is Jake Kelly, Mr. Paladin. He carries silver bullets in his gun.
Really?
Claims something grabbed him on top of Moon Ridge one night. Oh, sit down and I'll pour you some coffee.
Thanks.
Where are you from, Mr. Paladin?
San Francisco.
Oh, that's a long way.
Are you the fellow Vito said he was in for? About Emily?
He wants to know what's bothering her. I'm going to try to find out.
Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with Emily. She's hexed, that's what. And you know I'm talking true, Dan. If you'd ever ride up there and see her yourself.
Sheriff's got to stay around town. Now, you know that.
Oh, you ain't set foot out since the time your posse got scattered. No.
That was a little accident. Few horses run away and folks build it into something big. There ain't nothing up there.
Oh, Miss Paladin, I was as far from it as I am from you. I seen it. Half man, half bear. Yeah, and footprints this long. A human at one end, claws at the other.
Well, guess I'll have to see them, too.
Boy, you don't believe me. All right. When you get to that Bella place, you ask Emily Bella what carried her off. Yeah, but no, don't ask Dan here. No, yeah. He's sheriff. And if he admitted there was something up there, he'd have to go on out after it.
Get out of here, Jake. Now go on.
Yeah.
Crazy old coot.
Sheriff, is there anything valuable up there? Minerals, grazing lands, any reason for someone to scare people away?
No. Formation ain't right for gold or silver. Indians didn't want it. Said it was full of spirits.
You know, a short time ago, I was feeling superior to a Chinese friend of mine when he sprinkled dust on my coat. I forgot that he came by his superstitions honestly, that he learned them from the cradle. I can't find the same excuse for you, Sheriff.
Well, I ain't superstitious.
Why the mistletoe above your door?
Oh, that. Forgot it from Christmas, I guess.
There's an old belief that it wards off evil spirits.
All right, Paladin. The Bella place is north out of town. The last house on the way to Moon Ridge country.
What makes the different sound and sound difference that you hear on this station? It's the teamwork between the CBS radio network and its affiliated stations. This teamwork combines the far-flung resources of CBS News with local programming that helps you know your neighbors and neighborhood. Your listening post on your town, your nation, and the world is this station backed by CBS Radio. Don't settle for less.
The Bella place was run down and listless, with a small light gleaming in the window, and the figure of a woman seated on the porch steps, a young woman, dark, plain, no shoes or stockings, long hair, and the most vacantly staring eyes I have ever seen. Good evening. Miss Emily Bella?
Dark.
Yes?
Oh, Mr. Bella?
Yes?
My name is Paladin.
Oh. Mr. Paladin. Come. Oh. Memento, please. Emily. No, you promised you'd tell Papa when you stepped outside. Remember? It's cold here. And when a visitor comes, a big girl says what, huh?
How do you do?
How do you do, Emily?
Very good. Now you come in the house with us, huh? Emily, you can go to your room. dozen years ago, there was, in this valley, an epidemic. Took my wife, almost my daughter.
I'm sorry.
Afterwards, Emily's body grew, but her mind... she remains a child. Wine?
Please. Well, this epidemic, what was it?
Oh, we don't know. No doctors here. There was a young boy who was affected the same way. People treat him like an animal. They call him names. They kick him until he's a mother. But she took him away. I saw I have to leave too. Bring Emily here, far from a town. The land here is... It's no good, but we manage.
Those dolls are hers?
See, she is of an age where toys are pleasant.
She's fortunate to have you as a father.
I think she's fortunate in other ways. Maybe you don't know what I mean, huh?
Perhaps I do. There's nothing shocking, ugly about remaining a child. It's the best age of all. Their world is wonderful, mysterious, half real, half make-believe. The world you and I live in, Mr. Bella, is not always as pleasant.
I think you're a wise man, Mr. Paladin. We drink. Salute.
Salute. The newspaper said Emily was this way because of shock, some unusual experience.
A spell cast by the monster of a moon ridge.
Since that story is untrue, why do you want to pay me $200, Mr. Bella?
Your telegram said $500.
You haven't answered my question.
Mr. Paladin, there is something on Moon Ridge. It took Emily away from me for a week, and she wishes to go back to it. I don't want to lose my daughter.
Go on.
For that week, I search for her. I find her prints and other prints which I will not describe because...
Half bear, half man?
Well, you have heard, huh? Now, she will not tell me, even her father, what kept her there. But she was not harmed.
She wishes to return to this
yes,
thing? Oh.
Yes. She has tried twice to run away.
Well, then I think it's time you let your daughter go back to Moon Ridge, Mr. Bella.
What?
The three of us will leave first thing in the morning. The morning was dark and foreboding with the threat of rain in the air. Low clouds hung over the peaks and in the valleys, twisting the trees into gnarled shapes and making the rocks grotesque and sudden to come upon. All very unreal. But the track we came across on the top of Moon Ridge late that afternoon was real enough.
Half a man, half a bear, huh?
Maybe.
Emily? No, Mr. Paladin, be honest with me, please. What make this print?
I don't know, Mr. Bella.
No, it's going to be dark less than an hour. Hey, what is that?
I'd say it was a bear.
Emily! Emily, come back! Paladin, she's going down the canyon.
You follow with the horses. I'll try to catch her. The canyon walls were steep and rocky, and it made the climb down them treacherous. By the time I was standing on the floor of the canyon, darkness was coming overhead. I walked toward what I thought might be the head of the canyon, only to find a wall of granite blocking my way. But no Emily. No sign of Bella. No way out. But something watching me. Something old, bent in tattered clothing, witch-like in the quick look I had, then gone suddenly. You come back here. All right. I know whoever you are. Listen to this carefully. I have a gun. I'm not going to be frightened away. Are you there? Can you hear me? I warn you that I'm going to... When I regained consciousness, I was inside an old mine shaft. chain on my leg, minus guns. A very real-looking bear was chained across from me. There, in the dim light filtering back from the opening of the mine shaft, I saw something moving slowly toward me. Something which seemed only half human. Something old and horrible. I waited there, quiet, as the thing came closer. What do you want with me?
Leave while you can.
She had dropped a small sledgehammer before she turned and left. It took me the rest of the night to pound out the connecting pin so that I could remove the shackles from my leg. Outside it was morning, bright and clear.
Paladin! Paladin!
Bella! Over here!
Oh, I've been riding all night. You seen Emily?
No.
Here, I found your gun and a belt, Paladin.
Oh, thank you very much.
I didn't know what to do. I half expected to find your body.
Now, let me ask you something, Bella. Has anyone ever been hurt in Moon Ridge country here? Actually physically injured?
No.
Only frightened?
Yes.
I've been frightened too, but I'm not hurt. Bella. I think I know where Emily is.
Where?
I would say up there.
Huh?
Beyond that cliff that backs the canyon.
The cliff?
Possibly a meadow behind there.
Oh. The trail would be worse than in Sicily. It would frighten a bad rider.
And with a little clever discouragement, even a good rider. Come on.
Now there's a luxury car that fits regular parking spaces and ordinary garages that's easy to handle in traffic. It's America's compact luxury car, the Ambassador by Rambler. Now medium-priced car buyers can have the room, comfort, luxury, and performance they expect in a fine car, but without excessive length, width, and bulk. If other medium-priced cars have sized and priced you out of the market, then you owe it to yourself to test our best. American Motors' finest, the luxuriously compact Ambassador. Note the quality construction and careful attention to detail. Enjoy the most favorable power-to-weight ratio on the medium-priced field with Ambassador's 270 horsepower V8 engine. Try luxury features like individually adjustable front seats that glide back and forth separately. 5 minutes at the wheel of an Ambassador will change your ideas about luxury cars. Test our best, the Ambassador V8 by Rambler. Finest car ever priced so close to the lowest. See, drive the luxurious Ambassador, now at Rambler dealers.
It was a steep trail, but a worthwhile one to follow because at the end of it, there was a meadow brilliant in the high sunlight, and there was a house with a fireplace and smoke coming from a chimney. Not very mysterious at all.
Hey, someone living up here.
Very comfortably, I'd say.
Hey, Paladin, look there, across the meadow. Emily, my Emily.
Wait.
No, wait for what? She may be hurt.
Does she sound like she's in trouble, Bella? Look, there's a boy with her.
Ah.
Do you recognize him?
Maybe. It could be Maria's boy, the one I told you who was afflicted like Emily?
Yes, the mother and son, the ones they ran out of town.
Yes. I think it's time that we visit her, huh?
There's no need.
Maria?
Yes, I watched you two climb the trail up there. You have no respect for witches.
But I have a great deal of respect for a clever woman.
So, where else could I take my son? I had no money. I had to find a place where people wouldn't ridicule him.
Mr. Bella suffered from the same things.
Yes, and once we were old friends, Maria. You should have had faith in me.
Well, I should have sent her away the first time she wandered up here, but it's just so good to see children happy together.
The soil is good up here?
Better than below. More sun and more water. Why talk of it?
Why not?
Because there's always a man somewhere who won't scare off, like this one.
I'm sorry.
Materialize an apparition on a broomstick in front of him, and he'll ask it to sweep the floor. The monster footprints I made, half mine, half a bear's, they meant nothing. I've run out of tricks. I've moved before. We can do it again.
Why move?
See, why move, huh? If I lived here, there would be no man-bear track, no cave to put foolish men in and then release him to run frightened, shouting foolish things. I think since I am a man, there would be a gun in my hand, and friends would be welcome, others would not.
If a man has something to say, he comes right out and says it.
Yes, well, Maria, I think perhaps I like your land.
And I think I'll be going. I'll expect $200 to be placed in my San Francisco account, Mr. Bella. And I suspect that you got more than you bargained for.
But you will get what you bargained for, Mr. Paladin, $500.
You have to ride through town, I suppose, and talk to the sheriff?
No. Ignorant and prejudiced people like to be deceived, and they deserve it when they are. Why confuse them with the truth?
Oh, Mr. Paladin, you back safe all in one piece.
I'm glad to be back, hey boy.
Was it bad?
Oh, bad for people who believe in witchcraft. Any messages for me?
Oh, yes, sir. Many messages. Let me see. Lady send note and say you call on her when you come back.
Uh-huh.
Another lady send servant over and tell you not to call on her when you get back.
What else?
Is all.
Well, in that case, tell me the name of the lady over there, hey boy.
Oh, yes, sir. It's Miss Romero from Spain.
Uh-huh.
Very new in this country.
Thank you. Miss Romero?
Why, yes.
My name is Paladin. May I be of service to you?
Service, senor?
Si. It is the custom for a gentleman to offer his services to a lady in this land.
Oh? What kind of services?
Any kind the lady wishes. Dining in fine restaurants, the theater, the opera. Perhaps a carriage ride to historical points of the city. Your heart names it.
I like these customs, senor. But isn't such a relationship fraught with possibilities?
It is, senorita. All kinds of possibilities. Shall we begin with the possibility of dinner this evening?
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Gene Roddenberry and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Lawrence Dobkin, Virginia Christine, Jess Kirkpatrick, and Gene Bates. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
You don't have much choice left, mister. You can throw your gun away and they'll hang you. Or you can keep it and try to use it on me. Either way, you're going to die. Have Gun, Will Travel.
starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Here.
You're drinking, Mr. Paladin. Hey, boy, bring you brandy.
Oh, thanks. Set it down.
Yes, sir.
Well, do you want me to read it to you?
Oh, I beg your pardon.
I should think so. Reading over a guest's shoulder is hardly the proper behavior for an Oriental gentleman.
You go?
Go where?
Well, newspaper say. Blood feud rages in New Mexico. 38 men already die. Job for you, Mr. Paladin?
Maybe so, hey boy. Let's see. Violence flared again in Wren-Seabury feud when Juan Carlos Morita killed James Seabury in a gunfight. Morita, a notorious killer, had hired his gun to the Wren faction.
Mr. Paladin make money. One side high Morita's gun, other side high Mr. Paladin's gun.
Hey boy, you've sold me. Guess you better send a wire.
Yes, sir, Mr. Paladin. Right now.
If dandruff dulls your hair, leaves your scalp itchy, please listen. You can get rid of annoying dandruff so fast today, no one should suffer any longer. With Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo, unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. Besides that, using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And while removing dandruff, Fitch can also brighten hair up to 35%. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
It was late afternoon when I rode into the New Mexico town, but the summer sun was still merciless, reflecting off the adobe buildings. The dirt street seemed almost deserted. The town was motionless, except for something that swung slowly from a jerry-built scaffold in the middle of the street. It was a hangman's noose, and beneath it lay the body of a dead man.
Raise him. I said get him up.
I never argue with a shotgun.
That's better. This him, Mr. Seabury?
Where till I get a look at him? No, he's not Morita. Let him put his hands down.
You John Seabury?
That's right.
How long's that body been lying there?
We hung him this morning.
Who is it?
Morita's brother.
And Juan Morita is supposed to come for him. Is that it?
That's it, mister. Now, who are you?
Paladin.
You're late. Let's go inside.
I don't want the job.
You heard of Morita's reputation, mister? It scare you?
It doesn't scare me. I just don't want this job.
I've paid you $500 in advance. You'll give the money back, mister.
Gladly. Here.
You're mighty squeamish for a man with a gun for hire. Morita has killed 9 human beings. To hunt an animal or kill her, you do whatever you have to.
So you leave the brother's body unburied until Morita comes. No thanks, Mr. Seabury. I understand that Morita is a cold-blooded killer. I know he killed your son in a gunfight. There was no contest. I came here to take him for you. But I bury the dead, Mr. Seabury. Good day, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
I'd like a room. My horse is outside.
All right, I'll take him to the livery. You, staying long, mister?
Just the night. Can I get a bath?
Well, water's real scarce here, mister. You get a pitcher full and you can do anything you want with it. It's real warm.
I know.
You the, gunfighter?
I'm the man Seabury brought in.
Well, Rita killed 9 men, some say more. He needs dying.
Who are you?
Well, my name's Haskell, John Haskell.
You know Marita?
He was born here.
Beyond that, did you know him?
Well, he was a friend of mine. Used to be.
Now you want him dead.
I told you, mister. He needs dying.
The town was still quiet the next morning as I walked across the street to get my horse. One of Seabury's hands was dozing in a chair near the stable door, a shotgun in his lap. As I came out of the sunlight and walked toward the stall, I had a feeling that someone was behind me in the shadows. And I was right.
Mister, is this your fight?
No, it isn't my fight. Are you Marita?
I am Juan Morita, and I will advise you stay inside.
He moved out of the door like a panther. The man in the chair was dead before he could raise his shotgun. Morita caught Seabury's other man as he came lurching onto the street. Then came Mr. Seabury himself. Only this time it was different. Morita's shot only wounded him.
I'll get you next time, Marita. I'll get you.
There will be no next time for you, John Seabury.
Morita!
I thought you said this was not your fight.
You don't kill a man that way.
Stay out of this.
You don't kill him when he's lying on the ground, when he can't reach his gun. I tried to get to him, but I was too late and I was too slow. Before I could draw, Morita swung his gun butt down on my head.
Say, right now, you may have something worth $1,000 to you under the hood of your car and may not even know it. Something worth 1,000 silver dollars. A regular filter check is important to today's cars. So important that Fram Corporation is offering $60,000 in cash to get you to check your filters now. Last year, in preparation for Fram's silver anniversary, 10,000 secretly numbered Fram filter cartridges were distributed all over the United States and installed during regular servicing. These filters are worth varying amounts from $1 to $1,000. You may have one in your own car and not even know it. A Fram filter worth 1,000 silver dollars. Check your oil filter and air filter now. If there's a specially numbered Fram filter in your car, you'll win up to 1,000 silver dollars and your dealer will win the same amount. Get in on Fram's big silver treasure hunt. Check your filters now.
The trail I followed after Juan Morita was long, hot, and dry. The desert knows how to keep its secrets, and I had been riding for 3 weeks when I finally came to another small adobe town and went in to see the sheriff.
Something I can do for you, mister?
That depends. I'm looking for Juan Morita.
Oh, that's so.
You know him?
Yes, I know him.
By sight?
How long you been after him, mister?
About 3 weeks. Do you know where he is?
I know where he is.
What did he do, mister? Pay you to protect him, or you're just afraid?
How long has it been since you read a paper, mister? Go on, pick it up. Might learn something.
Amnesty. What amnesty?
Read it for yourself.
3 years of violence ended today when a general amnesty was declared in the bloody Wren-Seabury feud in New Mexico. Is this true?
Yeah, it's true. Go on, read the rest of it.
The amnesty was called by Major General Thomas Hardy. The involved principals have laid down their arms and taken oaths to keep the peace.
General Hardy said anyone breaking the amnesty would be summarily court-martialed and executed. Among those taking the oath was Juan Carlos Morita.
And you don't break the amnesty. It'd start the whole thing up again.
Where is he?
He's on his way home.
To Seabreeze Town?
That's right. Now, you better listen, mister. They mean it about this amnesty. You kill him, you hang. It had to stop somewhere. Let it lie. It's done.
Not quite. Almost, but not quite.
Mister, I know Morita. I respect him. He says he wants to hang up his gun. I believe him. Now, give him his chance.
He'll have a chance. The small campfire was nearly out, but there were still embers. The long hunt was coming to an end. Juan Morita had been there. He couldn't be far away. In fact, at the moment, he was closer than I wanted him to be.
Your gun belt. Let it drop. Be quick. Now turn around so I can see your face. The man who was there with John Seabray.
I was there. That day when you shot a wounded man in cold blood.
John Seabray put a rope around my brother's neck. My brother was 18 years old. He did not even shave yet. And John Seabray let him lie dead in the street.
How many men did your brother kill? Your 18-year-old brother. What do you sell his life for, Morita?
I do not want to kill you.
How many men, Morita?
I do not want to kill again. I do not even know you. I have no hate for you. How much are Seabray's people paying you? How much am I worth?
No charge. I want you for myself.
But why? I am nothing to you.
You should have made the first shot count. If you'd killed Seabray with the first shot, I wouldn't have given you a second thought.
You had better stop thinking about me, mister. I am going now. If you follow me, I will kill your horse. Do not make me do that.
You'll have to kill me, too.
I could do that, mister.
Yes, I guess you could. His gun was pointed right at my belly. He could have killed me, but he didn't. He stood there, and he started to tremble. Then, very slowly, his gun hand dropped to his side.
No. No, I will not kill you. I will not kill again. I put my life in your hands. Here, I give you my gun. Mister, I give you $200, all I got. You take me home alive. Don't let anyone lay a gun on me until I get there. A man should die among his people. I will not wear a gun again.
Who's gonna win the Thoroughbred Kentucky Club's Thoroughbred? Who's gonna win that horse and make it pay? Lots of money, well, Kentucky Club Pipe Tobacco has to find a winner. So the horse is here, the time is near, get your entry blank today.
Yes, enter the annual Derby Day contest sponsored by Kentucky Club's 9 brands of pipe tobaccos. First prize, a thoroughbred bay colt, son of famous oil capital, who won over $580,000. Jockey Ted Atkinson helped select this prize colt. You name him and he's yours. He could win a fortune for you. Get Kentucky Club Derby Day contest entry blanks free at tobacco counters now.
Hey, who's gonna win the Thoroughbred Kentucky Club's Thoroughbred? Who's gonna win that horse and make it pay? Lots of money, well, Kentucky Club Pipe Tobacco has to find a winner. So the horse is here, the time is near, get your entry blank today.
It was a long ride home for Morita. We had time to get to know each other in the silences and in the times when we talked. Let's rest the horses a minute.
All right.
Cool boy.
Paladin?
Yeah?
You think it is possible they will let me come back? You think they can let themselves forget?
I don't know, Morita. Some won't. Some may try, I don't know, but if it were me, I'd ride west. I wouldn't try to go back.
No. No, my people say a man is like a tree. You tear out his roots, he dies. No man wants to die. I have killed 12 men, Paladin. I remember the faces of each of them. I do not forget. You think I have a right to live?
You have a right to try.
A man speaks of death, but he is not sincere. I want to live. I want to get married. You think I'm crazy?
No, Morita. A little optimistic, maybe, but not crazy.
Maria, she's a woman with a tender spirit. I would give my eyes to know that I could grow old together with her. You will see her, Paladin. You will tell me if she's not a woman to behold.
I'm sure she is.
I will not live a week. I will not wear a gun, and I will not live a week. I was an altar boy, and now I have killed 12 men. I cannot forget. And if I cannot, Paladin, can the others?
Then why go back?
To try?
Let's go. Morita was making a good try, and it wasn't easy. There was sullenness and suspicion through the town the day we got back. The hangman's rig still stood in the middle of the street, and there was talk that it was waiting for Morita. But he kept his word. He didn't put on a gun. And on the night of the fiesta, it looked like he might make it.
You see, Paladin? You see my Maria? I told you she is a woman to behold.
You were right, Juan. She's lovely.
The senor is very kind.
And we will marry and we will have children and we will live together until we are old. Is that not so, Maria?
Oh, Juan.
It is so. I drink too much. I talk too much. This is for you, Paladin. You dance with my Maria. I will be back in a little bit.
It will be my pleasure. Maria?
Would you forgive me, Mr. Paladin, if I asked you to come aside with me for a moment? I would like a chance to talk with you.
Always at the service of a pretty woman, Maria.
Gracias. That Juan, tonight he's drunk. Tonight he remembers how much we used to love each other. Do you think he will remember tomorrow when he's tired or angry or feels he must kill someone?
I don't speak for him, Maria. Do you love him?
A man like that, if you're a woman, he can stir you. I do not know if I love him anymore, Mr. Paladin. But I do not want to marry him.
And tell him so.
He has killed 12 men, senor. Do you know how simple it would be for him to kill another?
Who?
Another.
No. No more, Maria. The killing is finished. I believe him.
I'm going to marry someone else, Mr. Paladin. He is not a gunfighter. I'm afraid for him.
Tell Juan. He won't strap on a gun. He won't kill this man.
And if he tries?
If he tries, I won't let him.
What is this you will not let someone do, Paladin?
I won't let you put on a gun, Morita.
I get my word. Why should I break it?
I don't think you will.
But Maria, she thinks I will. Is that it? Why, Maria? Why?
Juan.
It is said, Paladin, that only a fool stands between lovers. Why, Maria?
I cannot marry you, Juan.
But I love you.
It is too late. Too much has changed. You have changed.
Another. There is another. While I was away. Who is he, Maria?
I love him, Juan.
I believe you. Tell me his name.
Do not kill
him. His name.
You know my name, Juan.
I know your name, John Haskell. I called you friend. Do you have a gun, friend?
I own one.
In the street. Tonight.
Morita.
Do not make me come after you, Haskell. Die big, friend. Maybe she will cry for you.
Morita, you gave me your word.
Maria, she gave me her word too, Mr. Paladin.
And so it was not over after all. There was to be another shooting in another dusty street, and it could only come out one way. Man doesn't learn much about gunfighting working behind a hotel desk, but Haskell wouldn't hide. He came outside the hotel, wearing his gun belt awkwardly. Morita's shot caught him in the shoulder. Then it was up to me. After all, I had also given my word.
Paladin, do not stand in front of him.
You're not going to shoot him again, Morita.
Do not make me kill you. You're not good enough to fight me.
We'll see.
I said it. It seems a long time ago. I do not wish to kill you.
You have a choice, Morita. You can throw away a gun, and they'll hang you for breaking the amnesty. Or you can fight me.
I will not hang.
He lay there in the street, in the shadow of the hangman's rig. Juan Morita had tried, but he couldn't live without his gun. At least he didn't hang. Here.
Your drink, Mr. Paladin.
Hmm?
Hey, boy, bring a brandy.
Oh, thanks. Just sit down.
Yes, sir. Mr. Paladin.
Hmm?
You want Hey Boy to read paper with you? Fine job for you like the last time?
No, hey, boy. Not like last time.
Oh, but Mr. Paladin, big hero. Stop feud, kill big killer.
No. You're not a hero if you kill a man who wanted you to do it.
What Mr. Paladin mean?
Never mind. Just get me another drink.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Julian Fink and adapted for radio by Marion Clark. Featured in the cast were Harry Bartell, Lillian Bayef, Clark Gordon, Lawrence Dobkin, and Barney Phillips. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.